Hey, hey, hey! Session 31 has reached us. Welcome to Adventures in Aanthara. The Twilight Heralds, hi guys, are in Ilmara, the capital of Kathos, after last session successfully completing and escaping a momentarily questionable encounter, but everyone's just fine. And then finishing up their trip southeast to the capital from Proward, encountering a couple random groups of people along the way, making some friends-ish with a family of Tabaxi, who they said goodbye to outside the walls, and then traversed inwards to begin exploring this massive city. And at the directive of Faye, who is back in her element instead of being in the swamps, were led up the skylifts, up the Dawn Throne bluffs, to the highest bluff in Ilmara, and the district that sits on top of it, the Horizon District. And when they reached the Horizon District, they began to make their way towards the Rosewood Estate, before being slightly turned off course for a bit to check out the Preshivian Conclave, where the Shaded Wind hold headquarters, and there met with Rylus Tyrael to have a interesting discussion, provide some updates, receive some updates, and we'll call it a loose suggestion / offer for potential work in helping the Conclave and others to track down answers on these assassinated political leaders. But that's for tomorrow, for now. Because after this conversation, they made their way, finally, to the Rosewood Estate, which, as it turns out, is quite nice and quite large. And they made their way inside the walls across several acres and a small lake before approaching finally the large front doors of what appears to be the primary homestead, and were met out front by a middle to older aged Kel woman who greeted Felicity, as she said it, welcoming them to the Rosewood Estate. And that is where we pick up. So,
Felicity, my dear, it has been so long.
Carlina, hello, I'm so happy to see you. But remember, dear, I don't go by that name anymore. It's not my preference. Could you please call me Faye?
Oh, that's right. My apologies, miss.
That's
Faye, and who are your new friends?
Well, this is Brightwing and Eclipse, Yasnib and Eowyn. We've been traveling together for some time. We're on our way down to Alea. So I figured it was nice to have a nice bed for a few nights as opposed to a tent.
Of course, yes.
she nods and kind of slightly bows to each of you as Faye introduces you.
Welcome to the Rosewood Estate. My name, as Faye mentioned, is Carlina. Can I bring you in, get you more comfortable?
Yes, please.
Follow me.
And she turns briskly and leads you back towards these large, massive, dark mahogany doors that are built into the front of this red-stoned building, which has these doors now split as they're opened, that same insignia of the R that you've seen now a few times. As you get closer, you see in the doorway, pretty much, both sitting, but in the way where you can tell that they want to be moving, a pair of dogs.
Oh.
Springer Spaniels. Faye, you would have known these dogs because they're about 10 years old. so you would have grown up a bit with them, Archie and Millie. And they are sitting with all of their willpower not running out, but as soon as you draw closer, they begin to excitedly jump and move around.
Tippy taps.
Yep, tippy taps. And then once you arrive, immediately greet you happily, lick, jump, kiss, and then begin sniffing the other people in the group. Just for fun, everyone who's not Fae, roll an animal handling check.
Fuck
why?
you.
You're just doing this because of Yasna, but I know it.
I don't have any of my D20s.
Motherfucker!
1 second. 1 second.
I wish
Leah
I could
forgot
make
her
this shit
dice
up.
for a
No.
session of D&D.
No, just D20s because I brought them for
Oh,
school
of
projects.
course! Just the most
Just the
important
primary
dice.
one.
They're in my backpack. 1 second.
Listen, Brian, I just want you to know you're not alone. You're not, okay? So don't feel bad.
Okay. I got him. Oh, damn.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out some numbers.
Take a guess, Matt.
Natural 1.
Hell yeah.
Incredible! For a total of...
1.
Wait, you also rolled a 1, Sean?
No, I rolled a 5 total, but you know,
Okay. Wow.
yeah.
Good start.
I'm one
Eclipse?
because it's alone, Sean. I'm alone at the bottom of this poll.
It's a 15.
Ooh, okay. Brightwing.
Dirty 20.
Wow. You know, some dogs just don't like big men with scary voices and muscles. It's a thing. I don't know.
And then Yasnip.
And listen, he's tall-ish.
Eclipse is a cat.
Everyone's
yeah.
everyone's
Eclipse
really
is a
tall.
cat.
I also rolled really well on those random mastiffs that the fucking bandits had, and they
Yeah.
did not give a single shit.
The
like,
the
I
dog
don't
versus
know.
cat thing doesn't apply to people cats, as we've clearly
yeah.
learned.
Or people
If
birds,
anything-
evidently.
True, or people birds. The dogs quickly grow accustomed to and friendly with you, Brightwing and Eclipse, and then very aloofly sniff and...
I think I know what the issue would be. It would be that Eclipse doesn't really pay them any attention. She's just kind of like keeping still and letting them do what they want to do, and not trying to give affection. But the moment you try to give affection is when it's like, So if you want to give the attention, you're losing them.
They spend a few seconds with checking each of you, and then while treating Brightwing and Eclipse with some excitement, pretty quickly go back to Faye, and then sort of walking alongside Carlina and Faye as you guys begin to move through the estate. Faye, unless you want to direct her otherwise, she's probably going to give like a small tour. I don't know how tired you people are right now.
I'm
Maybe just so people know where the facilities are and like the dining
Okay.
area and things like that. And,
Okay.
like places we could relax.
So,
I mean, Leah wants a tour.
You all seem tired and worn, so I'll give you the brief tour, and perhaps you can clean up and have dinner. I'm assuming you'll want something made. The kitchen staff is very likely to be excited about the opportunity. Not many people here lately. But this, and she begins the tour, runs through things, describes some things that she doesn't get to. As you guys move through this place, and the quick tour is probably still a good 5, 6, 7 minutes, and skips whole sections of the home. But she describes there are 16 bedrooms, which you are welcome to most of, she describes. There is a library that you pass at one point, which she says has over 2,300 books. There are 4 different reading rooms that look in each different direction through windows on the exteriors. You pass a dining room, which she tells you you can report to for dinner after you clean up, with a table that seats 30 people,
and is incredibly long. This is a lavish ass mansion. And she points out a number of rooms that have their own facilities situation. And mentions that there are some servants who can bring hot water for anybody who wants to do that. Gives you the layout and the rundown, and then allows you to do as you please. Faye, you have a bedroom here. I assume you'll go there. Okay. Do you bring anyone else with you to show, and would you like to describe it, or are you keeping it to yourself?
Mute.
You're muted.
Leodad, come
Thank
back.
The only thing I want to add is probably as we passed by the dining room, above the table, you guys would probably see a very large portrait of two middle-aged people seated, with 4 young men standing behind them, probably like in their early to late 20s in range, and then seated between them on the bench or wherever they're sitting is a very timid, like deer in the headlights looking pale blonde child dressed in pink with like kind of short like hair that they made it work. She's probably like 7.
You have like a lot of bows in your hair too.
Yeah, like a whole 3 at least. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And there's
no.
like a high collar with like the lace that goes around.
Yeah.
And like the poof sleeves, and is just like uncomfortable.
Like the kid
But
from Christmas Story. Just
Yeah. But it does give you kind of an idea of the rest of the family. It's obviously not a recent portrait.
Amazing. Each of you, I assume, picks your own room, unless anyone wants to room together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free ring.
I think Brightwing this entire tour has been like the smallest she's ever been, like trying not to touch anything because she's like just looking at it's gonna break it, following behind. So when everyone starts to go to their own rooms, she's like, okay, and just kind of wanders to one of them very like carefully, like trying, and like she's also barefoot, so she's probably leaving like dirty footprints around
As the dogs run past through the home. Yeah.
yeah.
As you do.
Where's Lucy?
Oh, where is Lucy? And the
Lucy's with us.
horses and the carriage or cart.
I think the horses and the carriage would have been left.
I think we
We
give
said we
directions to
bring
the
it.
guards for the carriage.
You didn't, but you could.
Okay.
There are stables here. You could definitely have them set up easily.
So then I would probably, the only one that I would probably give direction to in regards to a room would be Edwin. And I
Okay.
would make sure that he had a room that had a walkout to like a patio of some
Okay.
kind, so that she had some space that she felt comfortable.
Okay. Is all right. That's good with Edwin. So she's out there,
yeah.
or is she
I
walked
would.
inside?
She's walked inside. Like she's part of the
Okay.
tour and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
She fits.
She does fit. It is very large in here. Carlina gives quite a few, probably somewhat concerned glances, but okay. Fair enough. You guys, each of you, once you find a place, have a small knock on your door at various points, and a young servant, boy or girl, pops in, asks you if you need anything, can bring you hot water for a bath, some new robes if you want.
Ugh.
Some like nice perfumes if you wanted. Pretty much anything that you could want in the nice guest house situation, they offer to you. And if you ask for anything, they could potentially bring it. Does anybody forego taking a bath and the pleasantries thereof?
No.
I
we'll go.
do have one thing.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I need to go talk to Brightwing.
Oh no.
Okay. I would say that probably as people like branched off to rooms and stuff, at some point Brightwing was just like standing in the hallway, looking around, not knowing what to do. So if you wanted to,
I would probably, given if Leah agrees, if Brightwing is overwhelmed enough, if there's like an open bedroom, I would probably just be like, this might be a good one for you if you want to find a place to stay.
Oh, okay.
And then guide her in and shut the door. You know that one I told you about at Raygrove? At the table?
Can you remind
I
Leah?
remember.
It's a Brightwing.
The name that he dropped back then was Delona.
Oh, okay. Yes.
If I showed you what she looked like, could you try to contact her?
Yeah.
I will shift into Delona, which I actually have to pull up her description because I don't have it. Actually.
How dare you?
I can give it to you.
Oh, yes, please.
She's a half-elfin woman. Brightwing, as he begins, or as he
Right.
shows it to you, yes, you recognize what he's referring to.
Okay, I thought I did.
A little bit more heavier set, bright red hair and freckles.
I think that I might need to ask you to help me with something. I think it was you that offered. And you can tell he's a little bit flustered at this point. He's a little bit fast-spoken. But
Would
I
you like
just
to
need
sit
to know
down?
if she's... No, I just need to know if she's around.
I don't know if I've sent her today. Because this is the same day as the battle, right?
No. The battle with the Sorrowsworn?
Yeah.
No, you've long rested
Oh,
multiple times
okay,
since
then I would have switched to sending then. I haven't.
This would be the same day as you spoke to the bison, but
Okay.
I believe you did that ritually.
Yes, I did. Hold on,
So I don't think you've used any spells.
Okay. I haven't technically. Hold on, I don't have I'm not prepared today, guys. I don't have sending prepared today, but I could have prepared it. But I technically have already done today. So I'll say she doesn't have it prepared today.
Okay.
I can send to her, but I can't do it today. I can do it right in the morning tomorrow when I prepare my spells. But I'm more prepared in case we were combated against.
That's fine.
Hey. Are you okay?
In as few words.
Is it from... And she just kind of motions this to you.
I don't know that she saw that.
No, you don't. And I will ask you now, before we proceed, do you want to go headphones off?
You know what? Let's roll for it, because you know what? Why?
Ooh.
Oh, shit. It went off the other side. Hold, please. That's a 3. So I'm going to say I don't mind if everyone hears this part.
Okay. You do not know that she saw it.
Yeah. You're just gonna kind of see him look at you. I think I need to try to talk to Faye, see if she could reach out. I need to know.
I understand. I'm sorry I can't help you right now.
That's fine. You do plenty. And he's gonna start to turn to try to leave.
Nas,
Yeah?
I don't know what happened. But I have a feeling that she's alright right now. Maybe not 100%, but we'll find out, alright? But panicking will only... It won't make her any better. It will only make you worse.
Kind of like nods back to you and then opens the door and starts to leave. I'm gonna try to find Faye.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
How flustered are you?
I'll roll. This would be deception, yeah?
Sure.
You never,
Probably.
you did not say that you shifted back. So I'm asking if you're flustered enough.
Ooh. That is a very good question.
Ooh.
Okay. I would say he is of sound enough mind. I rolled for it. He is of sound enough mind. He would have shifted back.
Okay.
That is a good mention, though. And he's gonna go and try to see if he can find Faye.
I would have passed my room and been like, well, this is me. So, like, I would have told you guys where I would be. So,
Knock on the door.
you hear kind of a distant, come in!
Pop on in.
I'm in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
What is the situation for that? Is it like a studio and the tub is just there? Or is it in a
There's
separate room?
a panel.
Okay.
To be clear, none of these rooms are studios. Each of these rooms is like a 2-bedroom apartment, pretty much. Especially Faye's room, given that it's not a guest room.
I mean, we went to the bath place in Ray Grove. That's fine. Don't mean to bother you. Could you do me a favor?
Of course, what's up?
I have a person that I wanted to try to contact, and I was hoping Brightwing could, but she isn't able to reach out today. If I tell you a little bit about her, could you reach out?
I don't see why not. That worked with Eclipse's father.
I'll walk to a point of visibility and minor illusion, Delona. Her name is Delona Vanfine, and and this is the point where he starts to unravel a bit more. Let her know that a friend is wondering if she's still able, or if she has lately been feeding the birds.
If she's still able to, or has lately been feeding the birds.
Yes.
Okay.
I just need to know if she's all right.
Can I insight check him?
You can roll an insight check. Yasnip, if you are trying to hide anything, you can roll, but otherwise it can just be against your general situation.
He's trying to be composed. Can I do it at disadvantage?
Yes?
19.
Oof.
I will cast Sending.
Okay.
Delona, a mutual friend of ours, is wondering if you are still able to, or have lately been, feeding the birds. I would say it out loud as I say it, so that he knows exactly what I send.
Okay. Faye, roll a d20.
13.
Okay. A few seconds go by. Then several more. Gets up past a minute with no reply. You have not had this spell for long and haven't necessarily tested its full capacities. But you feel like you did connect with it, but just received no reply, and are not entirely sure why.
It appears she has received and left me on red.
But it got to her.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've sent messages before that have not connected. And it feels different.
Okay. Well, that helps. Thank you. I'll leave you to your evening.
Do you want to be left alone, or do you want a distraction?
Oof. That's a good question. I could use a distraction.
I'm sure that could be arranged. Give me 30 minutes. We'll come up with something.
I'll be in my room. Thank you, Faye.
Always.
And then I'm going to hop, skip, and jump back to my room, cast Flock of Familiars, and do the thing that I told you about. Whatever limit you want to do that.
Sus.
You are muted, by the way.
Roll a d100.
You told me this was going to happen. I forgot about this part. 71.
71. Okay. And roll perception checks for whatever familiars you were sending out. I'm assuming you're sending all winged things?
All winged
Or...
things.
Okay.
So these are going to be owls. Let's do a mixture. No, they have to be owls. 4 owls. Or 4 owls, rather.
Are they all the same owl?
4 owls.
They're slightly different, but they are considered.
And they're going to somewhat similar locations, but spreading out a bit?
I would send them to as many of the boards that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So 1 to each, if
Okay.
possible. Is this hearing sight, or is this something else for perception?
It would be hearing and sight, and on how many you're sending? 4, right?
4.
On 2 of them, also roll an investigation check.
Okay. So it's a 13 for perception.
Okay.
And then investigation is a 12
Okay.
and a -1.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy.
Just with the instruction of if somebody starts talking about
Mm-hmm.
ping me, and then I'll pop into their their sight.
Okay. Given that you intend to, I'm assuming, let them... They have an hour?
They have an hour.
Okay. I will go ahead and say that you guys clean up for close to that, so I'll give you the report now. It might theoretically come like in the middle of dinner, but two of them don't even manage to find another board. You attempt to send them in a direction you believe them to be, and they don't end up finding any. They listen around in various other places and don't pick anything up. The other two make it to the one that you saw the posting on of interest to you, and the one at the Skyport that you know pretty well and is very landmarked, for lack of a better term. And listen for a bit and pick up nothing specific enough to the information you're seeking. It would have been one might say a 1 in 100 chance,
Yep.
or very, very low possibility of something being picked up.
We're good.
Okay. But eventually, all of you are well cleaned up, provided with alternative clothing if you wanted it. I would assume that those of you who wear pretty significant armor would leave it off for dinner. Okay.
Matt, I'll ask you this.
Yes.
When the servant that came to each of our rooms,
Mhm.
Brightwing would have been like, if they would have talked Brightwing into anything, sort of situation.
Amazing.
So whatever you would think, like, what would that amount to? That's how Brightwing looks when she walks into dinner, because she just lets, like, she doesn't know how it works.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Let's do this. Okay. So, this woman comes to your room at some point, Brightwing, who is probably actually not one of the younger servants. She's a little bit older. Kind of like the matronly sort of servant who probably helped raise Faye a good amount or something like that. In fact, she probably talks to you about this a bit. Over the course of the half hour, 45 minutes that she spends with you, showing you how these things work, because you don't even know about a nice hot bath prepared in a fancy bathtub, let alone makeup, perfume. She does some Princess Leia buns with your hair. It is the full thing with like a nice evening dress that she brings you, that she found from somewhere that kind of fits, but not entirely too well. By the time you come out, you are like Princess Ball version of Brightwing.
Shoes on.
She has shoes offered to her. You said you'd let her talk you into anything?
Yes.
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh my god. A 6.
Okay, she tries to get you into a pair of heels. Not super significant, like maybe 2.5 inches. It goes very poorly for you. So I will leave it to you whether or not you want to report to dinner in the heels, but you cannot figure out how to walk in them yet. So it would be a wobble to dinner situation if you wanted to.
Oh man, how much does she want to, like, impress Faye? To try to... I think she would try at least.
There's
Okay.
stairs.
Oh god!
There are lots of stairs. There's a 3-story building. Bedrooms, a lot of the bedroom, including the one you're in, is probably on the 2nd floor.
How?
You're not going to fall and die, but it's
Okay.
just going to look pretty awkward and is going to be a bit
Okay,
difficult.
that's great. That's what I want. I want it.
But on the good side of things, maybe if you do this enough, you can learn how to walk in heels, which could be useful at a later date. Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay. So, the The rest of you, anything specific you want to do over this hour or so? Okay.
I'd say Yasna doesn't bathe.
Okay, we have one non-bather. So eventually, the servants who reported to each of you offered you whatever you needed. Let you know that dinner is being prepared in the dining room, and you all head that way, I assume. Okay. Once the four of you that aren't Brightwing arrive, now that you're all clean and smell nice, Yasnip's unclean smell stands out a little bit. Because once you'd all gotten used to yourselves, it didn't really matter that any one of you was not in the greatest state of cleanliness. Now, it's a little questionable. And Brightwing is not there initially, and then a good 2 or 3 minutes later, very slowly, you see her wobbling into the room. And Brightwing, at least according to the art, is, attractive, cute in her specific way. But being where she's from, her background, what she wears, it is very... There's never been any makeup. She has tattoos. And, a simple braid. She's not well adorned like much of high society would be, typically. She comes in looking like... whatever the best setup is, very well prepared by someone whose job it is to do this for women of high standing, which you know this area to be.
I love this so much.
What?
Why?
This feels
happened?
wrong, right? This
What
feels
happened?
very, very wrong.
My darling, and I'll go up to her and I'll take her hands and help her down the last few stairs.
Uh-huh.
And I've put on like a fairly simple like white blouse and like probably like a long like high-waisted skirt, and just am casual but not dressed up by any means.
Mm-hmm.
He said this is what to do.
Oh,
For the
yeah,
record, this is like a nice dinner dress. It's not like she's going to a ball, but it
Yeah.
is definitely
she's
nicer
dressed
than...
for dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, I care about you so much, and your comfort is the main reason I brought you all here. I wanted to repay all of you for the kindness that you've shown me in allowing me to tag along with your travels by giving us a few days of not having to worry about anything. This is... You're beautiful, you're always beautiful, but this is... I want you to be comfortable in your own skin.
My tail feathers are squished.
I'll tell you right now, you don't need those. And she points at the shoes.
He's still like 4 inches shorter than all the rest
Oh
of
yeah,
Yep.
she's
Yep.
You do not need those.
Mm-mm.
You can just... We're indoors, you don't need those. Those can...
kicks him off.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants a drink?
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
And as you all sit down at one end, I assume, of this massive, ornate, polished wood table, a few different servants begin to come in. One has like a napkin draped over his arm and a bottle of wine. Oh, probably a couple, but different bottles of wine. Ask which wines each of you wants. There's a few different vintages. Pour the small bit for you to taste, see if you like it. Then the full glass if you do. Offer some other drinks if you wanted a cocktail or something. This is very quickly, like before the appetizers even come, probably the nicest meal that any of you outside of Faye and probably Eclipse once or twice for some like dignitary meals maybe have had. And by the time the appetizers start to roll in, it's just a whole nother
Is
realm.
it like a million different silverwares too?
Mhm.
Yes, there are a million different silverwares. You have no idea why. There's like 4 forks and like a big plate that doesn't seem like it's actually for food, on which is sitting a smaller plate that does look like it's for food. Yes, a charger, on which is sitting another small plate with a little bowl on top of that. It is very confusing. There's a lot going on, and over the course, no pun intended, of the next probably hour, more than a half dozen courses of food are brought out, and it is the most unbelievable spread. There are roasted animals, all kinds of fresh vegetables, pastries.
I would have told them about Brightwing's dietary preferences.
You don't even have to. There's enough. I mean, there's a number of meat dishes, but there's so many other dishes that Brightwing has more than enough to choose from to have a delicious meal of non flesh based deliciousnesses. Soups. They towards the end start bringing out like some tarts and some like baked pies and things. It is far more food than 6 or so, 5 of you, and Carlina probably as well, could eat. And each of the courses is probably a nicer dinner than most of you can have had in recent memory. And over the course of the meal, Carlina will describe the estate a little bit, tell you guys anything you wanted to know about the history or places in it or near neighbors, and a bit of gossip if you wanted some of that. It is a significant break from what has been your lifestyles for the past couple months. Significant. But is delicious. Anything anybody wants to do or say over dinner?
I think at some point Brightwing would have taken the hair down because it was just probably done too tightly.
Probably.
You know what I mean? When you've done it. And so her hair falls down, and I guess this is the first time we've ever seen her hair down, but it kind of goes all the way to her lower back. And it's fairly long. With that, but besides that, and also being like completely oblivious to what utensil to use for what thing, and probably picks up the weirdest looking utensil there is to eat with, because she's like, that's the coolest looking one.
There's like a tiny fork that's maybe this long that doesn't really seem like it works for anything until they eventually bring some oysters out, and then you find out it's for putting different things on oysters, which you may or may not have ever had. Carlina would at some point ask you, Faye, but the group in general, what your journey entailed, what you were doing. Would you give her any sort of a realistic answer? Okay. Vague. Okay.
Yeah, just the general like we met up together up north, and now we're headed down to Alea for some, to visit with Eclipse's family for a time, and who knows where we'll be after that, kind of a thing.
Will you be staying for any period of time?
I think just a night or two, really. We're kind of not on a time crunch per se, but we would like to make our way expeditiously.
Of course. I'll be sorry to see you go so soon, but glad to have you here for the time you are, at least.
You'll get the girls up here one day, and they'll all let you put on airs for them as well.
I hope so.
You will make sure that any leftovers are sent to the garden, right?
Of course, yes. As always.
Thank you.
If any of you need anything else before bed, throughout the night, don't feel free, or don't hesitate to let someone know.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys finish up dinner, are offered like post-dinner coffees, teas, scotches, a cigar, probably if you wanted one.
I would take a scotch and probably a cigar and go out to the patio that overlooks the city.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else would like to join me and kind of get like that night view.
Yeah. Adwin, is Lucy with you for all of this, or is she out on her balcony patio?
Lucy is the finest of diners. She absolutely would have joined us and have been served only the finest of delectable nonsense. Yeah.
Roll an animal handling check for Lucy.
You suck. 11.
11. Okay. The dogs are served their meal elsewhere, but shortly once they're done, which is very quick into the meal, they come back in to fraternize with the guests. Though they are very well trained and do not beg at the table, they do seem pretty interested in Lucy and attempt to make contact a bit, and Lucy kind of gives them a piss off, this is my dinner, and I'm not interested in your tomfoolery, you silly dogs kind of vibe, and they get the hint and stay mostly away. But you guys have a night of comfort and cigars and scotch on a balcony if anyone wants. Anything anyone else wants to do over the night?
Yeah, Snip, I promise
Before tomorrow.
distraction.
Yeah. What have you got?
I would probably out on the balcony are probably like a series of statues or something, or somewhere out in one of the courtyards. So I would reach behind like a bush or something and pull out what looks like those frisbees that don't have a center.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of fan them out for him. And say, Aloysius is worth 5 points. And it proceeds from there. If we'd like to, my brothers taught me this game growing up. And they're in various poses, so some of them are a little more difficult, and some of them are like very easy. So
I'll take 2 of them, and I'll find the one that has somebody with like a martini glass and a pinky up.
Yep.
I'll try to get it on the pinky.
Okay.
Still very distracted.
Okay. I will say roll a dexterity check. No proficiency modifier.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yasnip, almost like half-eyed, tosses this ring and it lands perfectly on this outstretched pinky. From a distance away.
yeah,
Quite
Christina's
impressive.
with 20 points. That's quite impressive. Anyone else? Can make a game of it.
I think Brightwing started clapping.
I'll hand you a frisbee.
You want to throw one?
I'll throw one.
How difficult of a target are you aiming for?
I don't know. Probably.
Or what statue?
Is there like a Thinkerman statue?
Oh yeah,
Can we get it on the
there are
head?
dozens of statues throughout these grounds, so pretty much anything is available.
Oh wait.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
We have lost him.
Did we?
Yep.
Brian done blown up.
Fuck, dude. We
Pause.
gotta figure out what's going on.
Hold.
Holding. So, it's not the power supply.
Mm.
Damn it.
That much we know for certain.
At least you can swap it out. Like,
Telling you, man.
you know, get his money back.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Mobo. It's gotta be Mobo.
That's
It's
Not the
gotta-
power supply.
It's gotta be Mobo.
What's that?
Motherboard.
yeah.
Oh.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Speed's here, so
We can either wait for him to return.
We can
or-
wait.
okay.
I'm down.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 or 3 minutes at the most when it's happened.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'll say because it's not like a major detail, but Eclipse looks very. I don't want to call it distant, but she looks very to herself.
Okay.
For, like, the entire thing.
Brightwing, you would notice that for sure.
Aedwin would also feel similar.
Okay.
It's not like a. She's comfortable enough, but not like wanting to directly engage with everything.
Okay. Brian, let us know when you're good? Okay. In case you missed it, Eclipse is a little bit to herself, and Aedwin a little bit the same over the course of this night.
Thank you.
You guys, to whatever degree...
Can I roll to see if I pick up on that?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll an insight check.
I rolled at disadvantage for the throwing because she's wearing a dress.
Oh, true.
So
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 4.
Off the cliff.
Yeah. It lands absolutely nowhere near the statue you were aiming for and ends up in a small pond instead. A frog jumps out of it.
Timothy.
It's Timothy. Timothy returneth. I got a dirty 20.
Okay, another perfect shot.
No, exactly. On my insight check.
Oh. Yeah. You would pick up some quietness, we'll say, from Eclipse, and also Aedwin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we're not stuck here. We can do other things. This is just a place to sleep. It was free.
Yeah,
So.
no, I appreciate it. It's not the problem. It's nice to have somewhere to stay.
Do you guys have anything specific to do while we're in town? Any places that you needed to go?
Need to go see the swords.
Yeah, where are they at?
I would know where they're at.
You would know where they're at. They are the offices of the swords in cities where there's not a headquarters are called sheaths. So the Ilmarin sheath is in the Dawn Boroughs. And you would know where it is.
Yeah, we're quick in and out.
Okay, yeah.
Tomorrow we have to talk to Rylas again?
He said he would bring our books back and bring forward some kind of written proposal.
So he's coming here.
I told him to tell me when he was coming. If we're not nearby, we could probably arrange a meetup elsewhere.
Might want to get into town tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
A few odds and ends.
Yeah, same. Some shopping. So.
I would like more. This is for emergency point, and she points to the amulet, the seed. But if we could get stuff that is similar of power, I believe diamonds would suffice. But they have to be of a certain quality. And I'll say, while you guys are having the conversation, she probably had enough of the dress. And she was wearing her normal clothes underneath because they're basically just a bra. She just took it off.
Amazing. Just left it on the balcony.
Going to wherever that she's at.
Yeah.
Probably like kick my shoes off too as we're walking through the grass. Just kinda pick up on that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'm gonna go read for a bit and then lay down. But if you all need anything, please let someone know. They'll all do whatever. They're kind of over the top, but they mean well.
Yeah, go get some sleep. Go relax. You're dead.
Eclipse, do you want to go look at the swans with me?
Where?
Points to the lake, the swans.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it. Wander over.
Okay. Adrian, what are you doing?
Once everyone is sort of occupied with their own shit, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of back out and probably just head up to my own room, let Lucy out, let her kind of do her own thing.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm chilling in my room, keeping an eye on Lucy and make sure she doesn't tear up the lawn.
Okay.
Lucy, no.
Yes, it probably takes a few stern words to dissuade her from chasing a squirrel or something. But you keep her from tearing up the lawn. Yasnip?
Yasnip would probably go back to his room, pull out his book, sit down in one of the chairs, realize he can't read it, throw it on a nearby counter, pace a bit, run a bath, never get in. And that's probably how he spends the remainder of his night.
Okay. Brightwing Eclipse, you head over to look at some swans in the lake.
Yeah.
And I think they probably just maybe walk around it for a bit. Have you ever been to a place like this before?
I don't know how, like, fancy where I live is compared to it's not this big, obviously, but
You have been to places like this before. Various dignitaries or high academics or high arcanists would have had dealings with your family, and some would have been at the consortium. Sometimes they would have invited them elsewhere, and you would have gone as a protective unit.
yeah.
Yes, detail. This is probably one of, if not the nicest and biggest that you've seen, but you're also from a city where there are places like this, so it's not unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, it's definitely the most that I've been to. So, it's a lot.
It is very different. I don't mind this. And she points to the makeup.
Oh,
We have
that's
face
good.
paint back at home, so it's very similar, but not as colorful. Well, ours is made with like berries and stuff. Don't know what this is made out of.
Does it feel like cake?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't really. But I have a friend who dabbles in it once in a while.
what is this called?
Makeup.
Make up. What are you making up?
How you look.
Facts.
That is true.
Some people can make their face look even more different, and she kind of like. She gestures to your nose, and she's like, if you do it right, you can look like you're crooked. When it's not.
Like this.
It's really weird. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. For my Wicana, we have traditional paintings that symbolize different things that we put on, that the whole village puts on. And that's always very fun to do. But that is for special occasions. This was for dinner.
Yeah, most people would consider that a special occasion. You get together with a bunch of really fancy people, try to look your best.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Insight check?
Roll an insight check. Eclipse, roll a d20 and add persuasion or deception as is appropriate.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 12.
I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
Ooh wee.
For a
Okay.
28.
You are pretty transparent, Eclipse. What does Brightwing see?
No, she isn't. Okay. She looks like she would on patrol, and she looks like she is distracting herself with trying to find a danger.
Do you always look for things that could hurt you or others?
Is my job. It's usually the only reason I even go to places like that.
Do you ever feel relaxed though?
Sometimes. It's pretty... I don't want to say it's rare. But if I'm not looking, who will?
It is very true. I guess I could sort of understand it. With this, I can see and hear much, so this, at least when we were in the city, it was very overwhelming. Here is
Yeah.
a bit better, but still
It's
a lot at the same time.
It's a big change, that's for sure.
Well, you do not have to speak, but I don't know how much I could help.
I just don't want to take away from else's relaxing. We deserve it. We've been through a lot.
What would take away from us? You're taking away from yourself, too.
I'm just doing my job.
I don't want to be your job. I want to be your friend.
I mean, yeah. Didn't mean that.
No. But you should also be able to take care of yourself and let others do it. Not just take care of everyone else. If I only heal you and never myself, I will never be able to heal the rest of you eventually.
We'll figure it. It's not a big...
It could be bigger if you don't talk about it, but I will not force you. Just leaving you an open place too. And if you want me to reach out to your family in any way, I can.
I just want to get home. But I don't... I never... It's fine. We'll take our time. We gotta rest up anyway.
We'll leave here soon enough.
But this isn't... It's okay to be.
It's okay to worry.
I just want to make sure that I don't know.
You want to make sure they're all right.
I don't know what I would do if anything happened to any of them while I was gone.
I can understand that. I think most of our group would understand that.
That's why I don't want to rush anybody. I'm not the only one worried about things like that.
Well, I am alright with rushing, if it gives you peace of mind.
I'll say something if it gets to be a lot, but it's fine. Like I said, the rest is good. We shouldn't just rush into it blind and unprepared.
She picks up a rock. One of those, like, really nice, smooth rocks. It's good for skipping. Do you know the trick to this? And she tosses it, and she gets like 5 in a row.
Hmm.
You have to have good support in the race.
She kind of smirks and looks back at the statues. That's the same concept, by the way.
It was with the dress.
Yep.
No, you're right. This is the support.
Yeah, I guess we'll just flick stones for a while and then go back.
You see, instead of
Okay.
skipping them, she's literally just throwing them as far as possible.
Roll a strength check.
Please,
Please
crack
hit a
statue.
goose.
Please, yes, so on, or crack a statue.
Taking a picture.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
This is a strength check?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 5, but it's a natural 1.
Oh, goodness. Brightwing, probably more than any of the words, which have generally been very quiet and reserved, the complete distractedness of these throws that go basically nowhere give you a better sense of how away from the moment Eclipse's mind is right now.
She doesn't say anything and just lets her do that, because even being that away can be healthy in this regard and this safe.
Okay. Eventually, you guys all make your way back in to your rooms and to sleep, unless anyone has any last second things.
I would say that based on the vibe, I probably don't sleep very well.
Okay.
And I would have gotten up at some point and just started like pacing around, and I would have found like some back hallway that like a chamber like that echoes. And I would have gone back there where I think no one can hear me and start like going back to what I know as far as like music training, and start singing through scales and start slipping into like some of the old like theater tunes and stuff that she just familiar rote stuff just to kind of get her mind off of all of it.
There is a pretty ornate ballroom that has a grand piano in it. You would probably go there.
Yeah.
And could play and sing as much as you wanted to. Great acoustics. Big chandelier.
The resonance, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just like sit there and like just specifically to hear the echo of it and kind of realize even in like this huge house full of people, you're still by yourself.
Okay. The rest of you, certainly it is up to you how well your character sleeps, but these are the most comfortable 4-poster beds with the fluffiest and highest quantity of pillows and the nicest comforters than that probably any of you have slept in. So it would be a good night's sleep unless your minds are too distracted to find it.
I think Brightwing tries to sleep in the bed for like an hour, but it's just so different
Yep.
that she can't sleep. So I think she opens the window and just sleeps on the windowsill.
Okay.
No.
All right. Long rests are had. You wake up the next morning. The sun glinting through the large windows all throughout this estate is beautiful. Breakfast is almost as nice as dinner for anybody who's hungry. And the day is yours. If there's anything specific any of you want to do in terms of finding items or shopping or whatever, you could certainly talk to Carlina and she could potentially point you places if you wanted to do that.
I would say before she'd probably get up early and go to Yasnip's room.
He probably sleeps in a bit, so doesn't respond.
So she'll just write on a note, "I have sending," and slip it under your door.
Okay. Yeah, eventually you would wake up to that.
Do you guys want to stick together? Do you want to kind of disperse?
I know where I'm going, so
Yeah,
if anybody wants to come with me, that's totally fine.
I'll probably go with. She'll probably stay at the house, but even then, it's still kind of a if everyone starts to disperse, she's really anxious all of a sudden because she doesn't fucking know who to hang out with.
Okay.
But at the end, I need to find health potions, if that's even a possibility.
I need money for diamonds.
I will say that
That needs to occur.
just for everyone's headspace, Rylus gave the impression that he would probably get to you guys late in the afternoon.
Okay.
So it's unless you had a dozen things on your to-do list, it's likely you all could go to places together and hit everything you need to do, but that's just time-wise. It's up to you guys how you want to disperse.
I would probably split off and go see my brothers. And if anyone who wants to come along is welcome, but I need to talk to them and see the family and stuff.
Okay.
Well, while we have the time.
I think Brian would be super interested if you offered that to go meet your brothers. She'll come along.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, how much do we need for a diamond for the spell?
The Revivify spell,
300.
it is 300 gold.
Yeah.
I
have
have
100 that I can get. And that's
Matt.
I have
If
88.
you stop by the sheath first, we'll get this.
okay.
In this
Oh,
home, are there any diamonds, any jewelry that I could I mean,
Yes. Well, so there's a lot of jewelry
do
throughout
I
the whole
own
place.
in
but
the
yes,
home
Within
anything
your
that I
own
could
bedroom,
contribute? A single one that would be worth that value. That's
My goal is 1 diamond, but 2.
I mean,
Butter
one at the
one.
very least would be a huge piece of
Yeah.
money.
1 at the very least. I might also need a ruby for spells, but let me check.
Is it ruby or
I feel
ruby
like
dust?
rubies would be a lot easier to.
There's something.
Faye, roll a
that I need.
d4.
have these fun ones. They're not triangles.
Oh man.
It's a 4.
Okay. Man, both times I've asked you to do that for specific instances, you've rolled a 4. You would have
I need ruby dust.
a necklace that ended in a pendant with a series of pearls and then one large diamond. It is gaudy and girly, and you left it here a long time ago for a reason, but the diamond would be worth about 400 gold pieces. It is very nice and very big.
So as we're like having breakfast, if you mentioned that that's what your task was, I would just like have that like light bulb moment and just drop the fork and walk away and come back with it and kind of huck it to you, like toss the whole necklace to you.
Oh gosh.
Like not at your face, but like, you know, at the table. There you go.
Carlina is nearby and gives like a... Oh. Doesn't say anything else.
This would work. Are you sure? This is very, very nice.
My mom gave me that for my 18th birthday, and it's not the vibe. So,
Not the vibe.
no, but life is the vibe, and if that's the trade for any one of you, I would gladly trade that. So I'm not sure where it come from. Perhaps I could keep the setting if anyone is able to pop that out of there, but I could replace it with something
I'll hand it over to Yasnip. You've been learning, yes?
Trying.
We vibe for life.
That's our first T-shirt, you guys.
Yep, vibe.
Vibe for life.
Yeah, I can see if I can get it out of it later. I'll need a few things.
You know what I should also do? Look for future spell components, because I have not done that yet.
Did you guys want to make your way to acquire money first?
Yeah, I think if you bring that up, I think that would be a good place to start.
Because if I recall correctly, the sheath would be at the bottom of
And then
like
just
the
work your way.
and then
It's in
work
the
our way
Dawn
back up.
Bros,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to remember the names.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is in the wide primary portion of the city that's at ground level.
And then the family and most of the shopping are in the Mercari Wedge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And
down
the
with starting at
casino is
bottom.
also in the Dawn Burrows.
So yeah, start at the bottom. Work.
Okay. And the party's going to stay together for now?
I would
yeah.
if everyone's
Yeah,
okay.
I think that'd be a better idea.
All right. You guys make your way down, riding the lifts again. Which... Yes. We'll say that you can spend a gold for a... Well, hold on. Let me just double check real quick.
Is Lucy coming with us?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Staying at okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track of that bear.
I
If
want
I-
the
if I-
faces.
If I leave Lucy at that house, she will rip it to shreds. So I gotta.
I mean, they really need something to do, so it would probably be fine.
You would also probably come back to find her covered in bows
Oh,
if
yes.
she let them do it.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
That's not gonna go well.
If you want, you can spend a gold for what's a week's pass.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's 5 copper per rider per ride.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, I would probably just chalk up the 7 gold for the 5 of us and probably 2 for Lucy.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You said that in the Witch's Cave, I found 1 spell component of a variety that I could do.
That is correct. Yes,
Okay.
that you could potentially later cash in. What
Okay.
are you looking for?
It's not till next level, but it would be 25 gold of incense.
Yes, that is absolutely something that you would have been able to find there.
Okay,
So we'll
cool.
say that you have that.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Not a gem-encrusted goblet, Matt. Not even like a bowl of any kind.
No.
Nothing.
Got a ways to go.
Damn it.
Sorry guys, it's not
Did
for
my
a while.
best. I tried.
Okay. Faye plops down what would be 7 gold for the 5 of you plus Lucy for unlimited rides until you guys leave, most likely. And you skylift your way down, eventually to the Dawn Burrows. Now Eadwyn leading. You're not super familiar with this. In fact, roll an investigation check.
Natural 20
Wow!
for a 20.
Wow. Okay. You've maybe only been to this sheath once or twice, but it comes right to your mind, and you're able to guide the group pretty quickly there. You reach a pretty simple-looking building, stone and wood. Offices, an armory, and a small smithy are all attached. And once you enter, then there's a Scarlet Sword at the door who clocks you pretty quickly, recognizes your station and membership, nods, and steps aside, and you all can enter. You see 1 or 2 other Scarlet Swords meandering about inside, and
Let's stay outside.
Yeah, I'm also staying outside.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yep, that is very fair. And sitting kind of at a sort of desk-ish thing towards the back, looks almost more like a work table or a place to work on armor and things, with their feet kicked up on the desk. You see a very tall Goliath woman. Grayish pale skin, no hair, rippling muscle, and a scar that goes from her left cheekbone down to her collarbone. Wearing simple clothes of reds and browns with a heavy fur mantle around her shoulders. As she sees you. Do you need something?
I just put the contract on the desk.
The note from
Yeah.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Okay. She takes it. Are you from Yilmara?
Nope.
All right.
Is that going to be an issue?
Not. No, I don't believe it will be. What was your name?
Eadwyn.
What headquarters do you hail from? Or who do you report to?
Captain Dockwright.
Understood. Alright. Give me a moment. She steps up, goes through a door. A few minutes passed. She comes back. This is half of Ivan's contract. Puts a bag of gold on the counter. Or coin. You can't see what kind.
Right.
Are you looking for another job?
I think we've got our hands full at the moment, unfortunately, but
Alright.
we'll stay in contact. I'll be talking to the captain at some point within, we'll say, the next month or so.
Alright. She just kind of nods. Seems very few words. Woman of few words.
Oh, one last thing. That problematic bard. I'm sure you are aware of one Fae that has caused issues for the swords in the past.
I believe I've seen her name a couple times.
Yes. That situation is under control. So, she can be removed from the list.
As in, she has been dealt with, or you are vouching for her?
We'll say supervision.
Roll a persuasion check.
Fuck. Oh.
Can I assist him?
You're charisma based.
Oh yeah, I'm proficient. I just, it's very.
How would you like to help, Eclipse?
Can I just kind of like nod along with him? Just kind of look like I'm also aware of the situation and just kind of agreeing with him that yeah, it's being taken care of.
Okay. I will say that what you're kind of going for, unless you correct me otherwise, is a bit of a sort of intimidation adjacent.
Yeah.
I know what's up with these things and am official and important and can
Yeah.
vouch.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say you roll an intimidation check, and that will affect whether or not Aedwin gets advantage.
It's actually a lot better. Okay. I just had to cry. With the 16.
Okay. Aedwin, you can roll with advantage.
Doesn't matter. Dirty 20.
Okay.
Yes, teamwork. Let's go.
Understood. We will pass along the message.
All right.
Do you have any additional details about what Ivan dealt with? This is somewhat unique for him to...
Oh, yeah. Whoever scouted this out got it fucking wrong. We nearly got slaughtered. There was a lot more than what was initially reported. He's got all the parts. He'll be turning them in, I'm assuming, probably somewhere up north. But, creature's not native to this plane of existence, which
That's
appears
what
to
we
be...
knew. How many extra were there?
Well, there were 2 other big ones, for 3 total, and then there was a swarm of 8 or 9 tinier little hoe thumb things that seemed to be, at least, in some sort of hierarchy. Ivan would have more details, but of course he's traveling north, so...
We will make contact. Thank you for the report.
Yeah.
Alright. Understood. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys make your way out?
Yep.
Okay. You can pretty quickly count up 4 platinum and 60 gold.
Okay. That's half his contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's a decent...
Mm-hmm.
Decent job. I'll just add that to mine and then we'll figure it out later.
Okay. Where to now?
To the party on that one.
I think a lot of what we need is going to be up in the wedge. It's kind of all in one place. It might be a bit easier. But if there's anything anyone would... I mean, it's certainly worth looking around here, but I think many of the places that are going to have potions or armor or anything like that would be available up there as well. Most of this is residential.
Yeah, I think armor's still a little... We might have to save up a little harder for that one. People commission or anything that would help us, it's going to be a lot.
Well, I've seen... I'll pull mine out of the corner of mine out of the bag of holding. I've seen people that have a similar style of armor to mine, but it's got a bit more nubbins on it. And I think it might just offer a bit more additional protection. So if I could find something like that, I don't think it would necessarily need to be commissioned. But
yeah, I mean, we can certainly check. I'm just
I can't do the shield thing because of the magic thing, but I feel like I could do what I can.
Yeah. I just know that that's going to be our priciest objective at the moment, besides looks at Brightwing. But that one's all well and good, so unless we find another one, that's.
If we found another one, that would be preferable. We would have spares.
I like spares.
Especially being prepared.
I will say that if you mentioned your plans to Carlina, would you have asked her for places to go? She could have pointed you to a couple spots. So if you mentioned anything about magic or that realm of things, not that she shops there regularly, but she knows of a place in the Wedge, in the Magna Market, called Whistledust's Window to the Wondrous.
That's a lot.
Say that 5 times fast.
Nah,
I
I'm
already
good.
forgot the whole thing. Okay.
Whistledust's Window to the Wondrous.
Yeah, it's a place that is very noticeable walking by, so she has seen it multiple times and would have pointed you that way if you wanted things.
Does it look
in
like a
that
Disney
realm.
store?
I feel like it's like it would be like the Weasley shop. That's what it sounds
Do
like.
you want to go and find out?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
we do
so
need
that's going to be your first stop.
vaguely magical thing. So. Great.
Okay. You guys ride the skylift back up to the Mercari Wedge, and then disembark and make your way into the Magna Market. This multi-leveled, massive structure that is absolutely bustling with activity. And there are some vertical skylifts that seem to work off similar arcana that take you up and down between the levels. People everywhere, and it seems like different levels have different things going on. There are like roadside vendors, larger shops, small carts, everything imaginable. Some kind of farmer's market, it seems, in one place. This is probably more people in one spot than Brightwing, at least, has ever seen. It is absolutely bustling, and you take one of these lifts up to the 5th level, which is the highest level, which is where Carlina told you to go. Down a couple turns. This is essentially like a gigantic mall, more or less. And eventually reach a building from, it looks like a large, beautifully designed shop of dark red wood with massive windows that fully encircle both the top and bottom story. There's 2 stories. But the windows are not transparent, and you can't see through them. I will ask one of you to roll a d6.
Ooh. Who would go in first?
I'll do it.
Brightwing would, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, Brightwing would absolutely.
A D6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use the magic galaxy die. A 3.
A 3?
Uh-huh.
Okay, though that's interesting. So you notice this from quite a ways away, like down and across the street a little bit, because it is very eye-catching. And then as you draw closer, you see that where these windows should be, instead of seeing into the shop, you see what looks like you're looking into a view of the Khaing Plains with a stampede of Khaing bison that are running sidelong and out of view across the windows. It's almost like a massive screen of sorts.
Mhm.
Seems to be
Is it live?
potentially
Like they're
illusionary.
moving?
Yes, they are
Is it like those
running-
portraits from Harry Potter?
kind of like that, but it looks more like a TV screen. What we would understand to be like a TV screen than like a painting. And it really what it looks like is that the window is opening into that view in real life.
Cool.
But there is a door that you see amidst it that actually looks like it's in a rock coming out of the plain, based off what's showing on this view. And when you open the door and look inside, you see, rather than the Cathian plains full of bison, a colorful shop with all manner of things on shelves and a few patrons walking around, and you see two people who look like they work there. One is a soul forged, that same metallic construction that you had seen on the soul forged on the road, but with a greenish coloration, kind of the color of copper that's patinaed. Slightly, and then also slightly more of like a delicate or feminine figure than Magnox, the one you had seen on the road, that was very like broad-shouldered, warrior-esque looking. And they are wearing a deep copper-colored floor-length vest with green trim. And then up behind the counter, you see a gnome man who looks to be probably in his hundreds, very old. Bit of a paunch, but a glint in his eye to a degree. Thinning white hair that's sort of fluffed out wildly in every direction, with thick sideburns, a long beard, and a mustache, also white, that extends several inches outwards, and wearing what looks to be a pretty ornate outfit of forest green and gold that looks like a cross between a shopkeeper and an enchanter. You get the sense he probably runs the place and does a lot of the magically inclined things here. With a heavily decorated belt that has an oversized gold buckle and a pair of leather gloves that seem to have a variety of tools strapped to or pocketed on the back sides of the gloves, and has a pair of half-moon spectacles, one half of which has a green-hued lens that seems to be able to flip up and down. And when you enter, he pokes his head up from the counter where he seems to be working on something or another. Hello!
Hello.
Are you here to shop?
I certainly hope so.
Oh, well, what is it you're looking for?
Potions, healing potions?
Oh,
Those be here?
yes, I certainly can provide healing potions. Anything else? Anything exciting?
Always interested in exciting. Do you do appraisals?
Perhaps. What do you have?
I will pull the purple stone and hand that to him.
He takes it.
While he's looking at it, I'm gonna gesture to the OxyClean bag.
No, we can't get rid of it.
Okay, if you guys look at her like, she's gonna put it back. She's just kind of like,
That's coming with us to the end.
Okay, we're keeping it. Never mind. I'll never say it again.
It's our secret weapon.
My bag of
just a
cleaning will never
It's
leave.
just a ShamWow that like has the four corners pulled up on a
The
stick.
big bad. We're gonna clean for him, and that's how we're gonna win the game.
My bag of washing will never leave. It is to stay in the inventory forever. Alright. Duly noted.
He takes a gem from you, Yasnip, clambers back up around his desk, lays it out on like a soft velvet-looking mat, flips down the little green lens. Takes a few seconds.
Ah. Very curious. Well, it's a bit of a specific piece, but I suppose I could give you 175 gold for it.
Anything for a rather live individual that you might have if you fancy a possible trade? Or
A
move
live
on
individual.
Live.
I like to be quick.
Oh, lithe. Sorry, my ears are a bit old and filled with hair.
Not a problem. Would this be better? And I'll say it in Gnomish.
Oh! Okay.
Ooh, wait.
Ah!
And he responds in Gnomish.
Something for a lithe fellow, eh?
Quick with my hands, quick with my feet.
Yasnip would notice that Eclipse is still paying attention to the conversation.
Okay.
Woo!
Perhaps.
And he jumps down, ambles over to a section of what looks to be various gloves. They all have little, placards near them. Picks up a pair of gloves, brings it back. They look to be kind of a grayish leather.
You looking to snag things out of the air? These could help. Gloves of missile snaring. Don't know. We also have a variety of boots. Might be helpful, depending on what you're looking for.
Yes. How much would the gloves be?
Oh, dum. Please hold. 3,000 gold.
I'm sorry, we don't react. They're still speaking in Gnomish.
Yeah, no,
Eclipse looks like she got punched.
Yeah,
in the
Eclipse is
gut.
like,
Perhaps boots.
We have boots of elvish make, rather useful for quiet people. Don't know if that's more what you're looking for. Those are 2,500 gold. I don't know. Are these in your purview? You're looking for something?
In the purview, yes, but maybe a bit out of our price range for the present time. Said you had potions, though.
Yes, you were looking for potions. Healing potions? Any other particular potions you're looking for?
I'll ask everybody else. Anything besides healing potions?
I'm curious. I am a musician. Do you have anything that is in and along that vein?
Let me consult. Specifically for musicians. Some kind of musical instrument, you're asking, I assume?
Yeah, or something that could be of assistance in that capacity. Instruments would be nice. I also do have a bit of arcane ability, so I kind of weave a combination of the two, so anything that may assist in that.
Not the most common of our inventory. I have these pipes of haunting. Don't know if you'd be interested in that.
Of haunting? What do they do?
I don't really know if they fit what you're looking for. I suppose it really depends on what you do, but they can frighten unwanted persons. Anybody trying to accost you, perhaps?
I'll kind of like let the eyes go half black and pull it back and say, I think I've got that covered.
Okay, very understood. I don't know if we have anything that exactly fits what you're looking for then, but if you're going to be around and have the money for it, I could certainly procure or make something perhaps.
Maybe on a future trip. I know we're kind of new to the game here. so we haven't quite established ourselves enough to make large purchases.
Hmm.
I'll keep you in mind, though.
But potions.
Potions.
And anything besides the healing, or just healing? Climbing, comprehension, water breathing, heroism.
How much would those run for? For the others that aren't healing?
It depends on which one you're looking for.
Oh.
Healing, if you're just looking for common, of 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
How many of those do you have in stock at this moment?
Ooh. Probably about a dozen, I would say.
Okay.
I could check if you need.
Okay.
Well, just curious.
I imagine one or two, mostly in case Brightwing goes down. We're gonna need something.
Yeah.
Or in case, if everybody goes, we gotta get somebody back. The comprehension, water breathing. What was the other one? Any other
Climbing.
ones? You're muted.
I believe the last one was climbing, if I remember right.
Climbing is one. Potion of heroism.
Heroism? What does that entail?
It runs 180 gold, and please hold while I check things. It gives you a little extra vigor for a period of time.
Okay.
If you're, well, you look like the type who might get in a scrap every now and then. I can help you out.
She's quite vigorous in her activities.
Indeed. We also have various smaller magical trinkets if cost is important and you're just looking for something perhaps a bit...
He looks at Brightwing. These might interest you. And he reaches into what appears to be like a small glass jar that's full of these metal discs, pulls out one, and shows you, and it has sort of a raised image of a feather on it.
A feather token. It's useful if you fall. I don't know if you can fly.
No. What do you mean if you fall?
Well, actually, it can do a few different things. Really depends on what you're looking for. But if, in some cases, it will keep you from splatting.
Wow.
I don't know that we've run into that problem up until now, but there's no
Well,
saying
we
what we'll get
almost-
into.
We almost did in a cave.
That is true. Yeah.
How much is the falling feather token?
Just 1 gold. It's a one-time use.
Can we have 6?
I'm sorry, what was it for?
If you have it on your person and you fall somewhere, you don't splat. You float.
Oh, okay. And they're one time.
It's expended once you use it.
Yeah.
1 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy sell.
They're quite easy to duplicate. One of the things I'm known for. Oh! I'm Flynn in Whistledust, by the way.
Flynn.
Whistle.
Pleasure to meet you. Flynn.
Flynn.
Have you got anything that'd be cute for like a party trick or anything?
Cute for a party trick.
Something that
I
would
suppose it
entertain young people.
Depends on what kind of party trick you're looking to do. I have some fun decks of cards that do curious things. If you're trying to fool somebody.
I'm interested in that.
pulls a deck of cards from, or jogs over to an area, pulls a deck of cards, brings it back.
5 gold. If you, before you use it, if you think of something, you can make it be the card you draw whenever you draw it, but the rest of it looks normal.
Oh, that's cheating. That's super cheating.
Ah.
He opens it, fans it out face up, and you see normal card faces. And then turns it over, shuffles it, puts it on the counter.
Do you want a cut?
I need to cut it?
Yes, it's proper card.
Not with the
Slowly
knife. Not
takes
with the
out her knife.
No. Not with that. We do not want to break you by situation.
Pick up the top half and flip the bottom card before I set it on the table.
Pick up the top half and flip the bottom card?
Yeah, so picking it up and then just kind of like using the finger to flip it upside down.
Okay.
Brian
And then
knows what
put
he
it
talks
down
about. He
and
works
put
at
the
a
second
casino.
half back on top?
Yeah.
And then put the other half on top. So the bottom card
Okay.
would be face up and all the other
Got
ones
it.
face down.
Roll sleight of hand check.
Damn it. Probably dropped the card. 10.
10. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's do this.
It's a natural 2.
Damn.
Jeez.
He Dexy.
Ooh.
Dexy.
Eat Dexy, boy.
You make the move, but you see his eyebrows kind of slightly raise. Seems like he may have caught on, but doesn't say anything. And then takes it up.
Name a card.
2 of spades.
Picks up at the halfway point, and with his pinky flicks the card in the middle out towards you, and as it flicks out, it falls face up. 2 of spades.
I'll take that.
Is it only
All right.
card faces that it could show, or could it show whatever you want? Could it be
Well,
like
no,
a portrait?
that's a curious idea. No, but I'll make a note.
He actually quickly makes a note.
Buy that for
5 gold.
done.
What about something that would cause a distraction? Something that might make noise, or lights or something.
Yes, that I could do.
Runs over to another little area, brings back a small, what looks to be made of like a clear, like polycarbonate almost material, not crystal. And it's somewhat cloudy in the middle. Throws it down on the counter. It bounces like a foot. Well, maybe not even a foot, like a couple inches. And then begins to emit like a strobe light situation. And makes a series of like popping firework noises.
This is, well, it's mostly for kids to play with, but it would be pretty distracting if you threw it somewhere.
Eclipse's eyes go like.
Laser pointer!
She hasn't moved. That's the only thing you see. It's just me.
I know. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a news.
Is it like a thing, or is it like a thing? Like
Well, the ball is like a thing,
yeah,
like a
but the
softball
the
maybe.
display
But
itself.
yeah, the strobes are like hitting nearby walls and stuff. Seems like it has maybe about a 30-foot radius.
I think I know an inn in Raygrove that would appreciate that item.
Oh.
Mhm.
Is it round? Is it like a ball? You said
Mhm.
it's a ball. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is that?
15 gold.
Have you got more than one?
Oh yes, many.
Might
How
take
many did
two.
you want?
I think I'll take 2 of those.
Sure.
With picking
Grabbed
those
another
up,
one.
Would it be possible to throw in a few of those feather tokens as well?
I'll throw in 1 for each ball you purchase.
Okay.
We call them bright balls.
Bright balls. I would consider workshopping that.
Well,
But
kids don't really care what they're called.
I am Brightwing.
Ah! Pleasure?
Love it.
Anything else? Oh! Did you say how many healing potions you wanted?
you said 50 gold for the basic ones?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
150 for the next level up if you needed something with a little more oomph.
I mean, I'd like at least just for
I think
backup.
we could all chip in a bit for 2,
Yeah, I think that would.
unless
'Cause
anyone wants
again,
one for
it's-
themselves.
I have.
I gave all my money to a raccoon and clerk.
I actually have 88 gold, so.
Damn.
So
How am I the broke one?
I got 114. Technically, we did get
We
paid.
got 100.
Yeah. So
Total.
We don't know that. Or I don't know.
yeah.
Unless Adrian said something about it.
I mean, I saw we got paid, but
Yeah, well, I mean, we have, like, it's just in my pockets. But like, if we want,
yeah. I don't think we would have kept secret that we got paid. Like,
yeah.
We also want to buy one more diamond if possible, but we can buy out.
yeah.
Just put it
I'm-
out there.
Out
Are
of
you
character,
saying
I'm
that?
thinking that the platinum should be
Got
the
it.
start of the fund because it's small and can
Yeah.
be used for very expensive things. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's a bad idea to have that just
In the
in the pocket knife because then
Yeah.
it doesn't take up as much room. It's just there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because 1 platinum is 10.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we
So
would
we got it.
need.
So we effectively got what 70.
We would
It was
need
100.
30.
It was
We
100
would.
total.
We got 100 total.
For
Plus you had
platinum.
5 in the party fund or something.
But
5
each
gold.
platinum is
Yeah.
Each platinum's 10. So
Yeah. So it's,
And how
yeah, it
much?
was 60 gold and 4 platinum, so 100 gold. 100 gold
Right.
pieces worth of.
So we would need 40 additional gold total if we were to.
I could
Put the
swap
60.
gold for the platinum. If we wanted to use that fund to purchase the potions.
keep forgetting how much platinum is. It's
I
always more
will-
than
I
One
at
platinum is
least
10 gold.
to
so I
help-
could give 40 gold.
Matt, I'm gonna buy 8 of those feather fall things just so I can bring my thing down to 80.
Okay.
I paid 88 on my own thing.
Well, so okay. The other thing too is are we giving him the stone and then subtracting how much that costs from it? No, we were just.
I
appraising
thought we were
it.
gonna give the stone to Rylish.
Okay,
just
I
wanted
didn't
to
know where that
how much
was.
it was for my own.
Okay, that's fine.
negotiations.
How
Okay.
much it was worth, but yeah.
Because I didn't know if we were gonna use that to pay for stuff. So okay.
Do we want to use the payment from
God, I hate showing
that
for
for?
stuff.
Basically, what we received from the Scarlet Swords, the value of that would pay for the potions. We just would need to do some
2
math as to.
potions.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is everyone comfortable with purchasing using that?
Yeah.
Edwin?
do it.
Right. I will pay 40 gold. I'll take the 4 platinum.
Okay.
And we'll give him the 100 gold total.
Okay. So the 60 gold from the swords payment plus 40 from Yasnip and the 4 platinum go to Yasnip. Okay.
For 2 potions.
2 potions. He puts them out on the counter.
Okay.
Slide 1 to Brightwing.
What?
A potion.
Oh, potion of. Oh, okay.
Yeah, potion of healing. Regular.
And I'll
common.
look before I let go. I'll look and does anyone else have any objections?
No. No, I think that's
Um,
good. What do you...
We're also looking for gems. Do you have any diamonds?
For magical purposes or for jewelry and things?
Magical. Perfect.
Yes, that I could certainly help with. The jewelry is not my specialty. You'd want to go somewhere else. But if you're looking for components, yes, that I can help with. Yes. What in particular?
Right wing.
Oh, just another one of these. Something that would equate to the, and she points to the seed and then also the diamond. Something of the same value?
I have no clue what that thing is on your neck. But a diamond, yes. Is it for a specific spell?
Yes, revivify?
Of course, yes. Okay. You said one.
I think we probably can only afford one at the moment.
All right.
He goes back, unlocks what seems to be like a cabinet or a safe, reaches in, pulls out a small black velvet bag, brings it back.
300 gold, and it will do what you need.
I have 80 gold left after the feather fall coins.
I know we may not
You-
be purchasing any of your larger items, but is there any kind of way that you could help us out a little bit with this? Seeing as how we've spent 120 or so far.
We would most definitely be interested in being returned customers.
Are you from around here? Haven't seen you before that I know of.
I'm sorry, my name is Felicity Rosewood. My family, I believe, works in this district as well. You may know
The
them.
Rosewoods?
Hmm.
Oh no.
Ah,
Competition.
mm. Right. Okay, well. I suppose I could throw in a new customer discount. Give us 120, 300. Plus, I'll knock off 30 gold. %off the diamond, basically.
Hmm.
Think we can manage that much?
Alright. I think that'd be
So-
fine.
How much do we need from everybody?
275 ways is about 24, 25-ish.
And this is for another diamond.
It's 54.
54 each.
I'm sorry, yeah, 54. 27 is half of that, my bad.
So
I'll,
54 each. Who can't pitch that in?
I currently
would
have
have to-
43 gold. I'd have to start using platinum.
Same.
I can put in all my gold for this.
Which is
80.
Okay,
okay.
so 270 minus 80. I'll put in 40. Puts it at 150.
Wait, what? 80 plus 40?
No,
It was like
brings
it's
it
only
totally down.
270.
Yeah, it brings it down to 150 left. So
Oh, okay.
you're
Sean,
muted.
you're muted.
You're muted, Sean.
I know, I don't want you to hear me fucking try and do reverse math.
So 150.
So I would do like 2 platinum and
So I'll
30
do.
gold.
That would be 50.
Mhm.
I can.
100 left.
I can pitch in the rest.
You're doing the full 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's our lives, so I mean, I'm fine with that.
2 diamonds.
I'm looking at my
Okay.
pouch full of just copper and silver now.
All right, you guys acquire a diamond worth 300 gold pieces for 270, and 2 healing potions, 8 tokens, 2 of which are free, Brightwing. So you could only have to spend 6 gold,
Oh,
unless you don't want to have 2 left or whatever it was.
2 gold left. That's okay.
Yep, he threw those in
Okay.
for the potions. So
Anything else you needed?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, I think that should do it.
Take the purple stone back.
Okay. I don't know where you're looking to do with that, but if you're trying to trade it or sell it, and looking for a different price, better price perhaps, the Bolshevian Conclave may be the place you want to go. It's useful to their people with their training. Only reason it's not worth more to me, it would be hard for me to sell to someone else.
Understood. I appreciate the acknowledgement of that.
Good spenders get good tips.
Take my
Thank
cards
you.
and my stone.
Signing.
Okay.
It's
Of
wonderful to
course.
meet you.
I do hope to see you back again.
Next time we're in town, absolutely.
Maybe I'll have some new instruments. Keep my eyes out at least. Okay.
Go back outside. Is the window different?
No.
No.
It potentially changes every day, but you don't know. All right. Magic things acquired. We will take a break. And then you go. Where do you guys want to go next, actually, before we start our break? Just so I know.
I got nothing else.
I feel like that was everything. Like
I don't
That
think
was-
there's anything we're missing at this point.
unless it's
As
armor,
far as
but
money,
honestly,
We
there's
have no
nothing
money.
left.
We have no money.
I
I wanna. Is it like lunchtime?
Yeah, it'd probably be like a late lunch at this point.
Yeah, I'd want to pop by the office.
Okay. All right. That will be the next stop. We will take a break. We will take it. I'm going to put the clock at 4 minutes and 19 seconds because, as Brian pointed out to me, we like triple our break time usually. So maybe this will get us to around 10 minutes.
That
We'll
would
see.
be Toledo.
Oh, okay.
Ohio.
Damn. All right. We'll see you in that many minutes ish. All right. Hello, welcome back. So, Faye, you intend to lead them to Rymex.
Rymex HQ.
Okay. You guys leave the Whistle Dust window to the Wondrous and leave the Magnum Market and make your way deeper onto the Mercari Wedge, this middle bluff of Ilmara. Pass through what seems to be a very upscale community. Faye, you would know this to be the Dusk Glow Terrace. And once you pass through there, reach an area where there are a lot more industrial or large business type buildings. And eventually find also, for what it's worth, you would know that Luke and Bronson and their families live in the Duskglow Terrace. But you reach Rymex HQ, which is made from a similar stone as the buildings on the Rosewood Estate. But the construction of this building is much less ornate and intended for beauty and much more business-like. Okay, make your way inside. There's a secretary. Seems to be a halfling woman with sort of curly, dark gray hair.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, I'm Faye Rosewood. Are Luke and Bron around?
Oh, I'm new here, sorry.
That's okay.
Very nice to meet you.
You too.
I believe they are. Would you like me to get them or point you to their...
I kind of want to surprise them. Is it alright if I go? Are they back in the offices?
They are, yes.
Okay.
Or that they should be, at least.
I know my way if that's alright.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Adwin, I'm assuming Lucy's still with you?
Unequivocally, yes.
Is that with you?
First of all,
That's a her.
yes.
Oh.
Second of all, her name is Lucy. Third of all, she can understand every word you say. And four, yes. Yes, she is.
Ah, right. Oh. Okay.
All right. And you can tell she's teetering between, like, should I let this person and this animal inside? It's kind of my job maybe to not do that, but also this late girl is a Rosewood, and I don't know what to do, and she's a little bit confused, but eventually just sits back down. And you would know the hallways towards the offices where your brothers typically work.
Yeah.
But before getting there, you pass an open door into what seems to be a meeting room of some kind and hear their voices from inside.
Are they? I'm gonna like stop and listen outside. Are they with somebody? Or is it just the two of them?
It seems to just be the two of them.
I volunteer that we would hang back a little farther because I'm loud. So
Oh.
I would wait a little further down the hallway just to not like.
Well, there's people. I mean, it's like there's people walking around, so it wouldn't be like weird
Yeah.
for there to be people. But
I guess.
what are they talking about?
Business.
Beam's niece.
So I would
Yeah.
wait for timing when like one gives their opinion about something,
Okay.
and like before the other one can react, I'd pop around the corner, and I'd be like, "Oh, please, if your brain were dynamite, it wouldn't be enough to blow your hat off."
They both look at you, like slack-jawed for a second.
Hi.
Didn't know you were coming. Well, we knew you were coming, but not... And then just...
Yeah.
Luke first, then Bronson. The rest of you see two men in their mid to late 40s looking, One of them looks a little bit older, very classically handsome, mop of wavy brown hair that's noticeably fringed with gray. And then the other, a little bit, looks similar to him, but like a little bit less of a chiseled jaw. Looks a little bit younger, has kind of a more kind, charismatic face. Similar mop of curly brown hair. Faye, you would know those to be Luke and Bronson in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Brought quite the group with you.
Yeah, meet my friends. We've been traveling a bit, and I'll like kind of do the rounds of like, this is Adrian, and this is Lucy, and Brightwing, and Eclipse. And
Oh, good gracious.
Isn't she cool? I thought you'd like it.
Yes.
Quite a sight.
They're not gonna make a mess in here, is she?
No.
All right, just.
You could say hi.
I hand over jerky while she's saying that, just like.
Yeah, like how to do the pass.
Say hi.
She can understand what you say.
Hello there, Lucy. And Braun kind of inches over, reaches out and kind of pats lightly at the shoulder.
I hand him a jerky while he's like mid. He's kind of like.
He holds it towards her. She pecks and grabs it. Well, seems fair to say you've made curious friends.
I attract curious types.
Well, you are a curious type. I hope you all aren't letting Lissy here cause any problems.
This is her own person.
Not that she can help it. She's caused problems all her life.
Only the 20 years or so that you've known me.
Well, fair enough. How long are you in town for?
I think just through today. We've got to leave tomorrow. We've got plans down in Alea, kind of time sensitive.
Never knew you to be the businessy type, but fair enough. Are you staying for dinner tonight? Would you want to maybe get dinner with the families?
Well, yes. We've got an appointment probably later this afternoon, but I wanted to pop in at least and show my face and let you know that we were here. We were treated to the Rosewood special last night, so I think I definitely need to.
You're staying at the estate?
Yeah, I asked Mum. It was fun.
Well, good for all of you, I suppose. We could all bring the families by for dinner later if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We'll get the kids out.
All right. I'm sure they'd be fascinated with. And they point at Lucy.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we should start charging for interactions with Lucy.
And Luke, who you've kind of gotten the sense just from the way that Braun went up and the way that they've each talked about it, that maybe Luke is a little bit more the hesitant and cautious one, and Braun's a little bit more lighthearted. And Luke, so that was Braun, and then Luke says, "Does she do all right with kids?"
Well, they're not kids anymore.
Well,
Luke,
no.
But yeah, she's fine. She's great with everyone as long as they're nice to her.
Yeah.
Lucy's
They're
very,
not
very
kids
nice.
anymore, but they're maybe more problematic and rambunctious than they were when they were kids. Take after you in a lot of ways. Probably your fault, in fact.
I'm the epitome of a role model. What are you talking about?
Okay. No.
Right.
Sorry. Hate to interject. No. No.
How old are your kids?
Various ages. Mine are grown, Luke says. 24 and 21. Mine are, well, various ages also, but a little younger. The youngest is 16. I have 3.
Oh, wow. I am more close to their kids' ages.
Well, my parents adopted me later in life, so These guys were already old geezers, well on their way into the adult world by the time I came along, so...
We were in our prime, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Best years.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to those. Although the business is doing well, I don't know if you saw the ship on the way up.
I did! The Renali is a nice touch.
Yes, well. Luke points at Bronson, whose oldest daughter is named Vernelia.
Yeah.
Figured it was a fair touch to Grandma.
I love that. I mean, she left us a massive house. The least we could do is name a ship after her.
You're right there. So, later then, tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get caught up.
Tell Carlina to make some of those plum cakes. The kids love those.
Plum cakes, got it.
At least they did when they were little. I don't really know what they're like anymore. It's hard to keep up.
We got the discs out last night. I thought you'd like to know. They're still there, hidden behind the bush.
Who won?
You know, I don't think we got that far, but I think Yasnip really put us in our place right away.
Well,
We got the ton of
neither of us won too often. Rafe was always better.
Have you seen him?
Oh, it's probably been a couple months, I'd imagine. You know
Last
him.
time. Yeah, he said he was
Here
in
and there.
Australia.
And it would not surprise me.
Hmm.
Always someone new every time I hear from him, more or less. I'm sure he's doing just fine for himself, though.
Yeah, he lands on his feet.
And you have one other brother? Am I correct?
Dane. Yeah. He's, well, he kind of took a different route than the rest of us, I suppose. Hope he's doing well as well. I don't talk to him as much. Do you?
I contacted him in the same way that I contacted you not too long ago, and he said that they were moving, but not in any danger as of right now.
There's been a lot of odd news we've heard of late.
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't drag him somewhere dangerous.
He can
Odd as in
handle
the
himself.
storms that have been happening.
Storms?
Have you not heard?
Well, we've had some weather. Is that what you mean?
I was just wondering if that might have been linked to it.
Not that I know of. Hasn't been a storm too bad in, I don't know, a few weeks, I don't think. Nothing out of the ordinary. It does cause us problems with the sky ship, but we just usually try to avoid flying when there's gonna be bad weather. We have ways of telling.
We'd
Little
heard
shake.
We'd heard of one that kind of came out of nowhere. Around the Proward area.
How long ago?
Less than a week.
No, well, I think the last one up here was a month, maybe. It's been a while. At least as far as anything substantial. We've had rain, for sure. But sounds like you mean something a little bit more violent.
This one carried with it shards of ice. A little bit more powerful than hail, but it didn't seem to damage the nearby area.
I don't know if we've gotten anything like that up here, down here, in years, perhaps. More northwest type weather, I suppose. Not that I would know. But, no, not like that around here. Just rain.
Figured I'd
Mostly.
mention new sky ship. Just staying safe.
Appreciate it. We do have, well, we have connections with people who can tell these sorts of things in advance. Helps us keep the thing afloat.
Afloat or aloft?
That's a good point. Aloft is a better term, I suppose. Well, maybe it floats on the air. To be honest, I don't exactly know how it works. I just bought it.
Have you
What I
taken it
know-
on a maiden voyage? Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's been sailing, yes, but we don't sail it. We have captains. And we let them handle everything because if we get anywhere near it, we're likely to crash it. I don't even know exactly how it works.
Have you got
But
enough
it's
Khaings?
very helpful. And good for business.
Is it going down to LA anytime soon?
Well, it's something we were actually just talking about, where to prioritize. Obviously, it helps quite a bit to have it, and gives us new lanes that we wouldn't have otherwise had. Leah, I don't imagine. Not much we trade down there too often, and it's close enough that our land-based travel can get there, but I'll look, see if we have any shipments or reasons.
Up here
Why do
soon.
you ask?
We're headed down that way. I thought it might be fun to take it for a spin. Only if it's going that way.
I'll look.
Okay. No pressure. Just
How
curious.
soon?
Like tomorrow.
Well, I can't make any... I won't promise you it's impossible, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I'll take a rain check. Dinner.
We'll say 7?
Yeah, if anything comes up, I'll let you know if it needs to be later, but I think that should be fine.
All right. Pleasure to meet all of you. I'll let the kids know. They'll be very excited, I'm sure.
Just deuces and just...
Okay. All right. You guys head out. Anything next on the docket?
Not after that shopping trip.
You probably have 5 hours to kill before dinner.
Well, we do have a monk to meet up with.
And yes, you expect Rylus at some point in the late afternoon.
He's coming to the estate, though, right?
He did say he would go to the estate, yes.
Yeah, so we're just going to be chilling there then.
Probably somewhere in the free time, I would grab that piece of paper that Brightwing had slipped under the door and just kind of flash it at her.
Yes. Would you like me to do that now?
If we're away from everybody, yeah, if you could just see if she's okay.
Sure. What was her name again?
Delona.
Delona. Alright. Delona. This is friend of Noz. Just trying to see if you are okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roll an Arcana check.
Arcana check. Do I get advantage because I have a cat?
Nope.
Dang it.
Despite his eldritch horrors.
It's not bad. 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
You get a very similar sense as what Faye got earlier. It seems like your message connects, and it feels a little different than like when you message the kids that didn't respond, but you hear no response.
Would it be like they choose not to respond, or they?
You don't know.
Okay. Well, I did not hear anything back, but the spell did connect. It would not have connected if she was in a sort of way. I'm sorry it wasn't more than that. But I can always continue to try on later dates.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Brightwing.
did you steal in one of the ships in Sky?
No.
Why were you on the poster then?
It's hard to say. But so was she. That's when we got separated.
Oh, is that when you changed your identity again?
Yes.
I understand. How long has it been since you've seen her?
It's about 3 months.
Was she of magical means? Like yourself?
Would I know? She would be pretty mundane, right, Matt?
As far as you know, yes.
No, none of that. Just away with birds.
Just away with birds. And I will continue to try. And I'm sure we'll find something out about her.
In time. Thank you again.
Of course.
Okay. You guys make your way back to the estate to wait for Rylus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab, like maybe let things die down and kind of let us all scatter around. But if Eadwin was in his room with Lucy, I would go knock on the door.
Okay.
Come in.
Hi.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for a walk? I feel like perhaps Lucy was a bit cooped up today, being down in the city. We could
Luce,
walk the grounds.
you want to walk around a bit?
She gets up onto all four after being kind of lying in a
You want
pile.
the walkies? Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alright. And we kind of like take him around like the probably honestly the near side of the property between like in the trees kind of a bit like away from the cliff's edge and away from the main house. And let her kind of run around. She can't really hurt anything out here. So I figured she might want to do some bear things for a bit.
Which she does.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just finds a tree and just
Yep.
fucking goes to town.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you the other day in that fight. You got really, well, you looked rough. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that was a bit of a miscalculation. Wasn't expecting to be as useless as I was. A apparent lack of information.
I feel guilty. I feel like I should have stepped up sooner and been there. So I'm sorry. It's not my strong suit, but I wasn't sure what else to do.
It's not your fault that I walked up. It's also not your fault that I got as roughed up as I did. but I get as roughed up as I do, specifically so that no one else does.
I know. I appreciate it.
Not used to fighting in a group. The swords don't really send you out with multiple people. Two at most.
I could kind of sense that from Ivan. He kind of had a similar mindset to you in regards to that. So I'm grateful we were there. I don't know. I just don't. It scared me a bit. I don't think we haven't been that bad since the hag.
To be fair, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but that's not a very large percentage of the altercations that we've had. So, I wanted to apologize for not doing more.
You did all you could. Just like the rest of us. The exact same things would have happened should we have gone back and choose to do them again. So, within my career, I have found you dwell on the last job too much, you're not going to do well on the next. You know? It impacts you. It impacted me. I fucked up once or twice because of that. So, yeah, not our finest moment, right? Not my finest moment. But you learn, you adapt, you get better. So that next time it's not as bad.
I know that you and I haven't had the most cordial start. I also feel like we have made some strides. I just want you to know that I am aware of my shortcomings in that area. I will try better to learn, as you say, from experience. I'm not very used to combat, so I'm still kind of getting used to it. I don't know. I just don't. It was scary. I mean, I was scared for you. I was scared for us, but I was surprised at how worried I was for you.
So am I.
You keep to yourself a lot, and I don't react well to that, so I respond by perhaps overcompensating a bit. But I don't know.
Well, you do something.
I hope that you think that all of this, and I'll kind of gesture to the grounds, isn't a show. I really, it's not mine. I was gifted it just like.
It's not your style. It's a bit too much money.
Yeah, and I have largely stepped away from this life. It's not. I like to visit, but I couldn't live here.
Right.
But I just hoped it could bring us all some peace for a day or two.
good to have a home to go back to.
We're a couple.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They come in handy. And they're good people.
Seems that way. Well, no, it's just... haven't seen proper family, I guess, in a long time. It's a bit jarring. But it's nice to have that security, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at this point we're kind of scattered to the wind in a bit of a way, so I try to make a point to, as one of the more mobile ones, visit everyone when I can, but they understand. But I don't know. I felt myself being roped into this a lot, and like you said, it's not my style. I didn't come from this. I still remember being on the streets. So it's jarring to me sometimes too. I don't know. Maybe I was worried about you judging me a bit for it all.
Listen. When you grow up in the streets, you can tell when others have too. It's the demeanor. Everything shifts, you know.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of got my redemption story already, so if I can use those means to bring comfort to others, I do what I can.
Noble enough calls. Especially for someone like you.
What does that mean?
Take that as you wish.
What?
You hear, and look over and see Lucy on her back in a small pond, splashing water.
Yes!
Yeah, you're having a lot of fun, aren't you?
She's
Really
like a
hope you-
kid.
Yeah, really hope you didn't have any fish in that pond, by the way, because they're definitely gone now.
It's stuck, it's fine.
Alright.
And around that time, you see, kind of briskly stepping towards you down one of the pathways, Carlina, who holds up her hand.
Someone here to see you. A monk, I believe.
We'll be right up.
All right.
Heads back up.
On the walk back, you said you're not used to, like, family and stuff. I know, I just want you to know, like, they're all coming here because this is their house, but don't feel obligated, and I'll share that with everyone else. You're more than welcome. I mean, they would expect to see you, but they would not be surprised otherwise.
When I heard there'd be kids, I'll admit I was a bit concerned, but...
Did you not grow up with siblings?
No. Definitely.
Not at all.
No.
Hmm.
No. So...
Well,
At least I'll post up against the wall and watch the mayhem.
just look scary. It's what you're good at.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Lucy, that's poison oak. Don't eat that. Come here. Nope, none of that. None of that. I know it looks good. Doesn't taste good. You're gonna hate it for 3 days afterwards. Come on. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Follows you back up.
think Brightwing's got something for that.
The rest of
Literal
you.
furnace. What are you talking about?
True.
Listen. Poison Oak fucking sucks.
The
It's
rest
only
of
once
you.
it's down.
Yeah.
True. Are also notified if you want to report to one of the kind of seating chambers. Rylus is
probably-
there waiting.
Pull us into like a library or something that I could close the
Okay.
doors.
Yep, you can do that. Everybody else gather with. Okay. Rylus sits down.
Well, I've had a somewhat productive day. Hope you have as well.
I'll start with these, and he plops down the sack of the books that you had given him from the hag.
Not the brightest of reading, I'll tell you that much. A lot of stuff about animating shadows and enslaving malevolent entities, curses, dream manipulation. Clearly a penchant for the darker side of the arcane. This one. One that does stand out.
And he pulls it out. You see it's a smaller book than some of the other ones, and it's bound in what looks like maybe like wolf's hide, and has kind of a wolf's claw and fangs motif to it.
This is a ledger of some kind, seemingly of debts and contracts. And there are names and blood on many of the pages. Seems she was making deals, perhaps, or calling in curses. It's hard to know for sure. If you'd be alright with it, I'd like to keep this and look into these names. Don't know if it'd lead anywhere, but
Is it just names or what job was?
no, just names. I think it's likely some way for her to bind the contracts magically.
It's also highly possible that the individuals we saw in the cart are in that book.
Did you
Mind if
get
we
their
get the
names?
Vrillin Magnots.
He writes them in the air.
I'll look for those specifically, though. I have to imagine if they're that important and that untrusting of your group, they may not have given you the names that would be written in here, but I'll look into it at the very least. Yeah, you can take a look. He hands it to Yaznip.
Could I just flip through and see if there's any names that seem familiar?
Roll an investigation check.
Guidance.
What's a 4 on the guidance? 21.
21. You make a pretty extensive glance through and see over the course of the pages, it seems to be maybe close to 100 pages. There's probably 50 to 60 names.
Per
None that
page?
stand out to you. No. Total.
Oh.
The whole book is not filled. Don't recognize any names, though. And you're looking through as he continues.
The rest, I don't know if you have use for. We likely keep them in our archive if you don't. Not that anyone there would have use for it, but good to know, have the knowledge on hand at least. Up to you. As far as I'm concerned, it's your property for now. Speaking of which, for the other thing we talked about, I was able to procure, we'll call it an offer. Bounty, if you will. Useful information, if you can find it. On the duo, 250 gold. A specific location, if you can find it, 500. And if you manage to capture or kill them, which I will stress again, do not undertake lightly. These are highly dangerous individuals and highly dangerous together. 5,000 gold. And the favor and likely the support of some very important people and groups, for what that's worth to any of you. Some of you may already have some decent standing. He glances at you, Faye, and towards Eclipse. But friends in high places can't hurt. Completely ignores you, Aedwin.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad.
And you mentioned your potential trade. Looks at you, Yasnip. I spoke with some archivists at the Wind. Asked around if they might have anything wasn't of much use to us. And he pulls out from a small pouch on his side what looks to be an amulet on a pretty simple silver chain. It just looks like a very basic disc of polished metal. No markings, nothing. This isn't, from what we're told by the people who can do these sorts of things, I'm one of them, an amulet of devotion. And it's not of much use to those of us not particularly connected to a higher power of any kind. But some of you might have use for it. And he pointedly looks at Aedwin and then Brightwing. It enhances your magic. I'm willing to trade it for that gem you have as part of the deal, if you're willing to take it. Again, taking the deal doesn't mean you commit to anything more than just reporting what you find if you find it. But if you do report something of use, it's a decent price.
Well, what do you all think?
I mean, it's a rock for a necklace. I feel like that's your choice.
Well, it comes with the other agreement as well.
What's the preferred time frame on that? Given
I mean,
what
yesterday
you know.
is the preferred time frame to end these two and their work. But, like I mentioned, and will attempt to stress, this doesn't lock you into something. Obviously, we want to know what we can know and find what we can find, and ideally stop them or bring them in. Track them to whatever source hired them, as is most likely the case. And the sooner that can happen, the better. But it's not something that... The offer does not become moot if it takes a week or a month. If it takes that long and we haven't gotten anywhere, if anything, the price might go up.
In regards to the price, being 250, that puts us at a very high standing, yes?
The people behind this are in very high standing, if that's what you mean. And this information is, well, I would say priceless, but clearly there's technically a price to it.
Well, I think my curiosity is satisfied, and I'll place the stone on the table for him.
Rylus, would you give us one moment?
Of course.
Can we do identify? Can we get the
You can, if you want.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to trust him, but we could definitely.
I mean, I just want to see what it.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you step aside with Faye, or when she does that, do you go and try to check it out?
Yeah, I want to try. I want to check it out.
Okay. The rest of you step aside with Faye?
Well, I figured we were in a library, so I was like asking if he could give us a moment.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can.
If
for a second he thinks you're gonna move away into a corner and talk, and then he gets the hint and right, and gets up, walks out. I'll be outside.
Just
When he
a moment.
walks out, I'll pull out the pocket knife and open it up
Okay.
and look through the.
For you have learned you can't use that thing. Only
Oh.
Faye can.
I'll hand it to Faye.
Did he leave this pendant on the table?
Yes.
Wow. What a guy.
Megan knows, but Faye does not, so I will look through the eyeglass.
Okay. You learn that yes, this is an amulet of devotion. When unattuned, which it is, and it requires attunement by a cleric or paladin, it just looks like an amorphous disc of metal. But when it is attuned, it morphs into the symbol of the wearer's devotion. And while you wear it, you gain a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your spells. And you can use your channel divinity without expending one of the feature's uses once per
What?
Yeah.
That is called a class magic item.
What?
I had a +3.
That's
Oh,
insane.
This is a +1.
Yeah.
That's Amulet of the Devout, right?
Yeah.
That's real
yeah.
good, guys.
I used it one time.
Well, what you think?
I'd say that's a bloody fair trade. For something that we have no use for, but you two might have to fight it out for it, or take turns.
Me and Brightwing fighting.
I
What a
didn't-
concept.
We didn't. Well, okay.
We have a
At the very
similar thing
least, we
back
can-
home.
Well, think of it this way. You have to, kind of understand it, right? Just sit with it. So technically, it's not like one of you can just, can't just hand it to the other when we have some time. If we think one of you is going to be a little more efficient with it in the moment.
Hmm.
So at the moment, it's just who's going to use it first, right?
Did you mention anything about what this does, and like the different form that it takes?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you said it takes the form of your devotion.
Yeah, and I mean, traditionally, based on that context, I would imagine it may, for a holy person, take the form of the symbol of their deity, or whatever it is that you gain your power from. I would assume.
Or is it the amulet itself that does, like, it turns into a...
I think the symbol becomes inscribed. I believe it stays a disc.
Ah.
It would be interesting. I wonder how much of that would be based on your own personal projection of said source of devotion. Or if it's a predetermined.
Does the wilds have a symbol? I'm assuming we would have a symbol for the wilds.
Only one way to find the fuck out.
We could find out.
I could find out where my power comes from, or at least get more insight as to where it does.
You really don't know.
No. Nothing.
I mean, if it helps you find out, I'm down for him to have it first.
I have a knife.
That's also very fair.
so to see. His is just a bit bigger. I guess I asked Rylas to step aside so that we may speak freely. If anyone has any strong objections to this being our course of action after our visit to Alea and after we resolve whatever we need to there. Because that is obviously our first priority, and I think that needs to be stated.
Well, again, it's no obligation. I think this is more a, hey, if you just so happen to come back to us with this information, this is how we'll compensate you.
Sure.
Right? So I don't think we have to agree to anything. We just have to be like, all right, we'll let you know. And that's the end of the conversation. So I would say we leave it at that.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to such open-ended contracts. So that's... Yeah.
Well,
They don't come often, but when they do, you take the fucking advantage.
well, I mean, on the other hand, it's their fault it's open-ended.
Exactly.
They could have come to us with something actually substantial and something they wanted us to agree to, and they're the ones not doing it. So either we're the only ones who know, or they're extending the offering to whoever they think is trustworthy enough to deal with it. And whoever gets there first gets the money. So we could ask him if we're the only ones entitled to. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if that's even that important, to be honest.
Well,
I think we just kind of...
It'd be important if somebody's greed goes to their head and they kill us because of it.
That's fair. Yeah, that'll
That's a
happen.
lot of money.
Alright. So, we ask if there's anybody else involved in this same type of deal. And should that not be the case, that's fine. Should it be the case, we'll exercise a bit of extra caution.
Yeah, it's not a deal breaker, it's just a... I'd like to know.
Alright.
Anybody else have any way that it's going?
No.
100%.
Open the doors back up.
Okay. He steps back in. Eyes you pretty intently. You have a decision.
Are there many others that are currently investigating this as well?
Well, there are many interested parties, all with their tendrils reaching, if that's what you mean. There are monks of the wind, there are governmental officials, there are other groups like yourself that may or may not earn a similar offer. I can't promise one way or the other, and I'm not the one to broker all of them. But I, as I mentioned to you before, evaluated you all and vouched for the usefulness of letting you know and potentially bringing you into the fold.
But we're not exclusive to this offer.
No.
Okay.
Is there any
No,
sort
we're
of
not at
offer
all.
of protection from other people that may be interested that could mean harm to others?
Not any more than you can give yourself. Obviously, if somebody crosses you in a way that's against the law, they'd be persecuted for it. But I can't promise you that someone else won't fight you for the right to the money, if that's what you mean. I'm not even, like I said, in charge of every possible agent in this hunt. In fact, and I'm sure you've imagined this for yourself, this is all just the Khaithian perspective. I would imagine that there are agents from Vordan doing the same.
I'd be surprised if there weren't.
We have shared the information we've had with them, so
think that we can agree that having an open contract or verbal agreement is suitable at this time. And I'll take the amethyst. May the wind be in your stride.
Good luck to you all. And keep your eyes open. I don't know what you plan on doing next, and I don't know if and when you will come across this pair or anyone connected to them, but just based on what you've done so far, it seems you walk dangerous roads.
It's a matter of perspective.
Not necessarily anything wrong with walking a dangerous road either. Someone has to do it. Alright. Well, I'm getting back to work. You all can get in touch with me, and I can get in touch with you if needed. I hope I hear from you soon. Nods and heads out. For whoever is going to take it, you should be able to search for an amulet of devotion, which is slightly different than the standard amulet of devout, amulet of the devout, or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm totally down for you to have it for your discovering more, but in terms of like utility, I think it's better suited for me.
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, it can
It can
change
go
depending
change
on
between
situation, and I think that's the best way to look at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, attunement takes what, a short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Attunement takes an hour.
that's what
Yeah.
I mean.
About a short rest.
Well, yeah. So yeah, a short rest. Yeah.
Yeah. We
That's
could
fair.
discuss who it would be more beneficial. And like
Yeah.
Jess said, that it may vary day to day,
Yeah.
depending on what we have coming towards us. And we would have to talk about like channel divinity options and things like that.
I mean, it's the
Right.
same thing if Aedwin
We'll figure it
suddenly
out.
needed the shield. I'd fucking swap it out. Like, it's not that big a deal. It's totally fine.
We will figure it out.
Yaznip will leave it on the table.
Okay.
Not touch it. Right Wing, if you'd like, I can try to see if I can get that diamond out of that necklace.
Oh. Yeah.
Take that.
Roll a deck. You want to do it right now?
No.
Oh, okay. He'll save it for
Do
later.
it later.
Got it.
I'm gonna find Carlina and tell her to make plum cakes with dinner because the family and remind her that I
and
probably
that the
would've-
whole family is coming.
I probably would have said that earlier, like when we arrived.
Yep. Okay. She gets quite excited and bustles off to get a massive feast made with plum cakes. Okay. You guys have probably about 4 hours or so until dinner. Is there anything people want to do?
I would go to the room and grab my jeweler's kit and try to take this diamond out.
Okay. Roll a dexterity check without your proficiency modifier. Yet.
Can I do it twice?
With advantage?
No, just twice.
Just twice.
Mhm.
I feel like you're trying to tell me something, but I don't know what.
What this means.
I don't know either.
Do you have another thing
Ah.
you're trying to get diamond out of?
Yes.
You said dexterity?
Yep.
Okay, first one without proficiency is a 17.
Okay.
Second one is a 13.
Okay. Successes all around. The second attempt is a little less clean, but you get it out.
Later on in the evening, I'll give the one back to Brightwing, and I'll give the setting back to Faye.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything you guys want to do? 4 hours to kill?
I mean, if nobody else has anything they want to do, I'm going to tune to the necklace and see what
Okay.
happens.
Oh, I want to be there for that.
Are you doing it in an area other people can be in?
I'm doing it in my room, but certainly if people want to, like, crowd in, you know.
I might
That's
just
up
check
to
back
you.
in at the end of the hour.
Okay.
Okay. Let me do this. Make sure I can do this. Yeah, okay. You take a hour or so to attune to this amulet. And as you do, you feel it grow in heat and weight over the course of this hour. Initially, the change is so slow that you don't really feel it or don't notice it. But as it gets towards the end, it's different enough from how it started that you now recognize there's a pretty significant difference. And as the hour completes, there is a sudden a dark reddish orange glow, and the weight increases to a absurd degree for a second, almost to where, like, if you're holding it, your hand drops, and you see the metal of the disc warp and change and almost looks to crack a little bit and shifts itself into something that looks like this in spectator shitpost. It does not by any means call to mind any religious symbol that you know, not that you're a super religious person at all. So it may be something you'd have to ask about if you wanted to know more. But that's what it looks like.
Can never be easy.
If you roll a religion check, actually.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Just
Fuck.
because.
13.
13. It gives you a little bit of a sense. You have not studied religion to any depth. You don't know all the gods by heart and all their symbols and all their names and all their domains and all of that stuff. But you've seen temples, you've seen holy symbols, you come across people who worship different gods. And beyond just not recognizing this as a symbol of any divinity or divine power that you know, it seems more simplistic, almost would be the word, or less refined and created than what you would typically see of holy symbols. Like, even coming in to the city, you would have seen temples with symbols that are like the symbol of Helm is a massive battle axe that has a pair of scales on each of the blades and looks very clearly created by people in an attempt to capture the essence of their god to a degree. Some of them are a little bit more like simplistic and primal, like, you know, there's some lightning bolts that are attached to one deity. But this just seems like if the point of making symbols for your gods are to clearly communicate to people who you worship and what they are about, this is so unclear and simplistic and almost primal in its appearance that it doesn't make sense to be that, if that makes sense. So that's what you would get. That's the vibe you get, more or less. It's certainly not anything you recognize.
Does it still feel heavy?
No. Well, not like it did at that last second when it attuned. After it does, and there's that slight glow. And I will say, the glow, as you are watching it pretty closely as this happens, seems to emanate from what look like those lighter cracks. And then fades. So it's just a piece of metal with some varying darknesses. And the weight returns to more normal. Still feels a little heavier than when you first got it from Rylus. Mm-hmm. And in fact, enough heavier that it's noticeable, but not like it did in that one moment.
Very weird. Very weird. What's Lucy up to? Is she reacting at all to this?
Lucy would have been probably sitting and watching you do this. And as you react to the glow and the weight change and then think for a second and say that it's weird, she comes up and just touches her beak to it. And for a second, and when she does it, her mouth opens slightly, so you're not sure if it's the glow from her mouth or from the amulet itself, but you see those cracks once again glow slightly and then fade.
Your guess is as good as mine, Luce. I'm just as confused as you are.
Pause towards it.
You are adorable sometimes. It hurts. Give her scritches. And die inside.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to do in the hours before Din Din?
I'd probably put like a scooch more effort in than I did the night before.
Okay.
Just a scooch.
Okay. All right. Brightwing, the same woman probably comes back to you and asks if you want to do something new, something the same, nothing. She seemed very excited about the opportunity to try new things on you.
Ooh. She says she'll keep her outfit.
Okay.
And no shoes, but if she would like to, she seemed like she had a lot of fun with the hair. So she'll let her do something with the hair, but ask not it to be as tight as it was yesterday.
Okay. I will let you come up with what she does, because you probably would know better options.
Okay.
Yep. But eventually, the family shows up. Is there anything specific, any conversations you want to have, Faye, throughout dinner?
I would just catch up with everybody and like ask the ladies about the garden, and then kind of give the guys a rundown of like broad strokes of like what I've been up to. I mean, I saw them a few months ago, so not
How
like
broad?
I would probably be like, and then we fought this thing in the swamp, and it was really scary, and she was really just terrible. You know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. But not details of any like investigations or any connections, but more of just like very grand storyteller, like the big strokes, but not the details.
Okay. All of you, by the way, meet several members of Faye's family. You already met Luke and Bronson. You meet their wives, Marin and Adela, in that order, and their kids. I would say Alistair the second actually probably doesn't come. But Mikhail does, who's 21, Luke's son, and then all three of Bronson's daughters, Renelia, which is the name that one of you saw on the side of the ship, Aedwin, I think, Layla, and Talissa. And Talissa is very excited and intrigued by your stories of battle and danger, and seems very much intent on being that very soon, which her mother seems to be very concerned about.
Oh,
and
I'm
it's a
going
whole thing.
full bore, like,
Yep.
yeah.
What? You didn't.
I did. It was terrifying, and I did it anyway.
All of them are intrigued by Lucy. Most of them are intrigued by Brightwing. And some of them are, like you mentioned earlier, closer to your age than the rest of this group. So I will let you determine how that plays out from your end. But they seem very intrigued by you and the vastly different background that you come from compared to them, and are asking you all kinds of questions.
I think she gets a little overwhelmed at first, but I think she gets into it. Because I'm assuming that they're probably sharing stories too, so she's just as curious. So yeah, I think it's kind of probably the first like she's had a really great time with the group, but I think this is the first time like kind of more like a Vana moment where it's just kind of a level of like understanding because you're kind of the sort of the same age. And
You never wear shoes. Doesn't that hurt your feet?
Well, some of my people wear shoes. I just do not wear shoes because when I shift, I grow bigger feet than I have, and it would destroy the shoe that I'd be wearing.
You shift? What does that mean?
I could show you if you like.
Yeah!
Okay.
This is mainly Talissa, who just vastly desires to be not where she is and out doing crazy and dangerous things. You get this vibe very quickly, especially with your passive insight.
And I'll shift.
Okay.
Whole like long feathers, long tail feathers, bird feet, feathers grow.
Yeah, they are fascinated.
And I would say I found a picture on Pinterest real fast.
Of course.
God bless Pinterest. And I would say that the lady probably saw the vibe that Brightwing normally has, which is a pretty simple braid, but she does a more intricate braids that go into each other and with like a wave look, and it's very pretty.
Word.
So Yasnit probably also bathed.
Oh! Okay.
And he'd probably be sporting a long cream-colored coat and pants.
Dope.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it like just her, or was the son there and the other daughters, or just?
Yeah, everybody, all of the kids are listening in on most of the stories that are being told, and anytime that something interesting is brought up about any of you, or especially when you shift, all of their attention is grabbed. It does not take long for you to understand that these kids have grown up in a very pampered and sheltered environment. Not sheltered in the sense that like they're socially incapable or socially awkward. In fact, quite the opposite. It seems like they're well socialized and know how to like carry themselves. But just that they've not lived the rough and tumble life by any means. If they went camping, it was probably glamping. That kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So they're all very curious. But it is overall a pleasant, especially for you, Faye, catch up, enjoying, reconnecting experience.
Can I just be leaning up against the wall with like a glass of very little scotch left for his hard-ish liquor, kind of finding Aedwin and just like,
Yeah. I take a puff at the cigar that I managed to steal.
Yes! Amazing.
Does Lucy light it for you?
I was just gonna say.
Beyond any reasonable doubt, yeah, absolutely.
we're just vibing.
Okay.
If things die down a little bit, I would pull the guys out onto the patio or something, like just the
Okay.
brothers and I.
Mm-hmm.
My pride doesn't allow me to ask for much. We're not in bad shape, but we've had to make some pretty heavy investments recently for our safety. Diamonds. We had to buy some diamonds. It was very expensive.
What for?
Brightwing can return the recently deceased back to their rightful place amongst the living.
Well, I was concerned for a second there you were getting married. Without telling us. That sounds much
I specifically
more
ran
dangerous.
away from that. I don't know why
Right,
you would think
that's
I
why
would run
I-
away
well,
and seek it out.
People can change, I don't know. It's why I was concerned. But this
Listen, that the Wellington half of that family was fine, but the Smith half was intolerable. So I would not have.
Yes!
Wow.
Damn.
Exceptionally well
cannot-
played.
Cannot
Wow.
believe this has happened. Holy shit.
Is there
That's crazy.
a decent chance you're faced with that kind of concern?
Yeah,
Death.
yeah. I mean, not every
Gods,
day.
what
but-
have you gotten yourself into, Faye?
I told Mom that I would have the adventures that she couldn't have. So that's what I'm doing. It doesn't need to be safe to be worthy.
You know, you could just be singing in a gigantic ballroom somewhere, having people dote on you every day. Doesn't appeal, huh?
They're just so snobby.
Well, I would take offense, but you're not wrong.
I did that, and I didn't like it. I wasn't fulfilled by it. I want to create. I want to observe. However, like I said, I haven't asked for much, but like I said, I don't know. We're broke.
What do you need?
I don't know. Supplies. A cushion.
Luke looks at Bronson. I mean, probably give a
some of the bonus from that last shipment, I suppose. I don't see why not. She's our sister, and keeping her alive is the point of the money, which I just don't quite understand, but that seems like a better use for it than whatever nonsense we'd put it towards. And Luke thinks for a second. You're leaving tomorrow morning, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Stop by the office on your way down.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to do that thing with the talking in the head a little more often now if death is on the line frequently.
I'll make sure to check in.
Don't tell Mother either.
Maybe at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
no.
imagine. No.
No. Just.
Well, at least it seems like you have a decent band of. I don't really know what to call them around you, though. Suppose their job's to keep you safe.
We keep each other safe. But admittedly, they do a bit more of that than I do. But it's collaboration, it's not one-sided. The goal is not for it to be one-sided. As for what to call us, we've been going by the Twilight Heralds, so perhaps keep an ear to the ground for that name.
That's good to know. Maybe throw some ads in our shipments. Or is it more of a secret thing?
I mean, we're just not, like, contracted as of right now, but maybe at some point.
Right. And Luke kind of takes a puff of a cigar. You know, when Mom and Dad brought that waifish little blonde girl home, this is not what I expected would happen in 20 years later. Good for you, though, I suppose. Sounds more exciting than the life they would have wanted for you, at least.
I just want it to be my own.
Sound a bit like Rafe.
Yeah.
Hopefully doing better off than he is, a hooligan.
If you see him, tell him to stay put for a while so I could catch up with him.
It's rather against his code, but I'll try. Might be able to bribe him with you being here. At some point.
At some point.
If you make it back.
When?
Alright. Conversation continues throughout the night.
I would
My
say
camera unblurs. Nope. Yes, no, it doesn't. Yes, Brightwing.
no. I would say at one point, while she's talking to this to the cousins, she knocks something over and she wants to catches it, but the son does it at the same time, and they kind of like bump hands and they both kind of pull away.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sorry.
sorry, it's probably expensive, right?
Oh, I'm sure Father could replace it very quickly. Your feathers are very pretty.
Oh. Thank you. I haven't really said that before.
I've never seen someone that looks like you before. Is it normal where you come from?
I'm afraid not.
Loss for them, then.
It's just like
Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. You guys have a night of family dinnering and conversation and an incredible meal once again. And head to bed. Unless anyone has anything they want to do. Okay. With the prospect of setting out again tomorrow morning. And that's where we'll pick up. Session 32.
What does it mean?
Oh my shopping. Damn you, camera. It's hopeless. All right. Favorite moments before we sign off.
Adrian getting a thing. Yeah.
I have
That's
a thing.
that is the most mysterious symbol you could have given us.
Literally just like as amorphous as it could possibly be,
Yeah,
and
for
answering
real.
absolutely no questions whatsoever. Aside from the
Nothing.
fact that it's likely not divine in nature.
Super cool though.
Oh my gosh.
It is very unknown to you as
Yeah.
of right now.
Yeah.
There we go. I think.
But Lucy splashing around in the pond was the best.
That was
I
really cute.
So happy.
She do be a good girl.
She do. Hashtag Fadewind.
Hashtag Mike Wing.
Oh my gosh.
Facts.
Amazing.
Oh man.
I mean, my favorite would just be the family, but
Yeah.
kind of getting to see. I think it's fun to see us give you stuff and have you give it back to us and being able to interact with it. And I think like that aspect of it is fun.
Agree. Brian.
It's a bit selfish, but I think I bought that purple gem for like 2 gold from Bernadette's back in session 10.
Yep.
So that's the cheapest amulet of the devout I've ever seen.
Yep.
For sure.
She's just pawning things willy-nilly, doesn't really know what anything does.
They are.
But I think the chance to start doing that jeweler stuff was probably a nice disconnect.
Oh
for
yeah.
me.
It was a lot of fun stuff. This
And the magic
episode.
shop!
The magic shop.
That guy was cool.
God, magic is so expensive.
That's-
The magic
Yes,
is
it
so
is.
expensive.
That's
Yep.
How much was that one? 5,000 gold. And all of us were like. But I mean, Eowyn and Faye's conversation was great. Brightwing and Eclipse's conversation was great.
Yeah.
Yasnips and Brightwing's. Oh, we just had really good conversations this episode.
I liked the cruel irony of the brothers being like, it's their job to protect you. I was like, God, it's almost like I said that an hour ago. I don't know.
Oh, I did like the I don't want to be your job. I want to be your friend.
Yeah. That was...
Yeah, we don't get to read or know Eclipse in that moment because she's so reserved. But I am curious, like, mini talking Anthara question, what her internal reaction was to that.
Is the actual question like right now?
I am asking that question right now, yes.
Right now?
You don't have to answer it right now. You can save it for a talking Anthara if you want.
I'll save it if I remember. I don't know. It's...
Cammy will write it down.
Write it down, Cammy.
Well, yeah, you could ask it again, but I'm not gonna remember. I mean, she's really stressed out, and there's a lot going on, and it's really selfish to be like, can we leave yet? Because, like, that's such an asshole thing to do. Like, so it's, yeah, it's mostly that. It's the internal struggle of she wants to deal with her shit, but is also like, this is important and rest is vital, and it's, we can't just run off because we're tired and we deserve it. But also, god damn it! What the fuck? And it's been going on for weeks. So it's like...
Yeah.
But this is her job, this is her life. She's always been protecting people, so separating the two exists, but at the moment... this is the job.
Yep. I will echo, I think, something that primarily Leah said, which was just conversations. There was some shopping, but it wasn't the majority of the episode, and other than that, there was no fighting. There was a tiny bit of, like, exposition with Rylus about what is going to go on in the future and some of the things that he's found, but the vast majority of the session was just you guys talking with you guys and the characters, like, being colored in more, and that was cool.
Oh, I really loved getting dressed up and having the mage just do whatever. That was so fun.
Yeah, we need the art. Artists!
I felt so bad. I was like, oh no, like, this is not the expectation. This is not the rule.
Well, Matt, I think you have to close us out by saying his name.
Saying his name.
Oh, yeah!
You have to say his name.
Matt. Gloom.
Oh!
God,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you guys next time in session 32, where maybe or maybe not we might meet Lord Wellington Smith. Adios.
Amazing.
God, it's literally the best.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.